It's time. Finally, a show for you. A once-a-week extravaganza, giving you the weekend's movies, the week's cons and entertainment events, what is worth watching on television for the week, the weekly comic book, novel, game, and collectible releases, as well as entertainment news and information. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture. It's Pop Culture Kaboom with your host, Jimmy Jones.
And hello, everyone who's been on this entertainment journey to this point with us, and all of those that are listening for the first time. Spencer Stoner is out this evening, but filling in is our first ever guest co-host, and it is co-founder and president of 97 to Now Productions, Mr. Mark Helton.
Good evening.
Yay. Welcome again.
Thank
to the
you.
show. Going to be here with us all 3 hours.
Happy to be here.
It's going to be fun and interesting. And manning his station behind the big board is Rob Nault.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I, your not so humble host of all things pop culture, Kaboom, Jimmy Jones. I'm just here to run my mouth. Tonight we will give you everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Whether you consider Sunday the end of your week or the beginning of it, go into Monday, the best informed person you know, as we provide you with the latest news, information, and releases from television, comic books, movies, novels, concert events, toys, and collectibles, and games. Neither Eric. It's a pumpkin spice. He said rum or scotch coffee.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, some sort of pumpkin spice. I don't know what they have at Dutch Brothers because I don't drink, but I was like, I need some caffeine, and I forgot mine, and
the coffee.
I was
pot
expecting
here
her
is
to
on the
actually
fritz.
stop. Yeah, I'm like, hey, can you bring me a soda? She's like, I'm at Dutch Brothers right now, but I'm ordering. I'm like, give me something pumpkin spice related.
Fair enough.
Because it is October 1st, might as well, right? Yeah. Start
The
it
leaves
off.
have started turning colors.
Yes, they have. So the
That's
pop
the
culture.
nice part about living where we are. We actually get the leaves turning colors.
Yeah, I didn't get that in Florida.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Oh.
At least I didn't freeze either. So the Pop Culture Boom is also your place on the radio dial for you to talk about your favorite fandoms. This week, Tony Filippo's Horrible Reviews will be here joining us to go over the movies set to release this coming week, as well as Mr. Mark Helton. And we will have... I forgot to have everything on mute.
I'm like, what was that noise? I'm like, looking at the
And
computer.
that noise, too. And we have 2 great guests for you this week. We'll be talking with the co-owner of Dark Corner Haunted House, Holly Spahr. Holly Spahr will be telling us all about what's new in the second year of the Dark Corner Haunted House, what you'll experience in the haunted attraction when you can visit Dark Corner Haunted House at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada, and what Dark Corner Haunted House has in store for you in the future. We'll also be talking with horror director Dustin Ferguson, with 150-plus horror films to his prolific career. We'll be talking with Dustin Ferguson about his latest horror film, the remake of the cult classic Spider Baby, how you can be a part of the movie, and when it will be available for you to watch. We'll also be talking with Dustin Ferguson about his horror convention, the 3rd annual Cropsy's CreepyCon, which is taking place on Sunday. Why did he pick Sunday? Sunday, October 22nd. Who will be there at the Mayflower Club in North Hollywood, California, and so much more. All of this, your comments and thoughts on the 7 pillars of pop culture entertainment, or your favorite fandoms, and everything discussed on the show. To add your voice, just call 775-515-4141 anytime during the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. If you're too shy for the phones, you can always send us a DM through the Facebook page, which I have up right now, which is what Eric is doing. He says he avoids the S-Buck place as well.
Oh.
So I don't want to give them any press. Or if you don't want to do that either, but you still want to comment on anything, you can reach us 24/7 by sending us an email at popculturekaboom@gmail.com. Very important rules when emailing. Please put in the subject line question, comment, concern, or my fandom. In the body of the email, please add your name. Add first name only, and it has to be in there because I will not read email addresses over the air. And the city, state, or country that you live in. Then fire away with what's on your mind. I respond to each and every email, or if they are for Spencer or Rob, I will forward the email to them to respond back to you. And bear in mind, all emails will be read on the air unless you specify for them not to be, or if you can't follow those simple instructions. A couple of people who did, but were completely wrong, sent some stuff in, and it was, I'm going to try and pronounce all of these. One of them's in the States, 2 of them are not.
Okay.
Zacharias Zakaris.
Zacharias?
yeah.
Really? That's a Zacharias? Okay. From Cram, Tunisia. Shane from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Pia from Ludköping, Sweden, all said happy birthday.
Nice.
But it's not my birthday. So
It's almost your birthday.
Yeah.
It's coming up in 12 more days?
Yep. On the 13th, Friday the 13th. Pia, P-I-A. Pia?
Pia?
Pia,
Okay.
maybe, yeah.
Pia says, happy birthday. You are lucky to be born to start the month. I didn't. I'm in the middle of the month. But thank you all for the really preemptive birthday wishes. I appreciate it, actually. So anyway,
nice.
The rest of them I didn't want to share.
Aw.
A couple of them got the instructions right. Just I don't want any more negative crap on the air. So,
yeah. No, I agree.
So bye-bye. Anyway, but I did respond to them, so enjoy your response. Anyway, so upcoming stuff. Join Rob Spencer and I Saturday, October 14th at the Brewery Arts Center in Carson City for the Carson Creepy Short Horror Film Competition, Screening, and Award Ceremony. There'll be a costume contest, a silent auction, and a raffle, and it'll be divided up into two. Actually, we needed to have Lyric on to tell us what they finally came up with, because they had so many entries after coming on.
He told us it was going to be at 2 o'clock, and then
They were thinking about doing it 2 o'clock.
no, there was going to be at 2, and then keeping the original at 6. But all the major awards were going to be at 6.
Like the lamp from Christmas Story. It's a major award.
Nice.
Because they were still going to, and they were going to have an audience favorite for the first block of showings, and an audience
that
favorite
was a special. Okay,
right, and an audience favorite for the second block.
Okay, and there you go. So the first one, so it's going to be broken up into 2 blocks because they had when it came on the show, they had 20 entries for it. And so Sunday was when he was on the show. Wednesday at noon was the deadline to be turned in.
Yep.
And they had 11 more sign up between Sunday and then. So
It's a good problem to have.
total of 31 entries. But it's also depends on who's actually going to make it to the end. Because they only have 2 weeks to script, shoot, edit.
That's a lot of time, though.
For
It is.
a
Compared to
9-minute
the other
short
one
film.
that they have, the Reno
48
48-hour
hour.
one. Yeah. That one's scary to me.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. That would not be fun. So we'll be there. I'll be interviewing people, of course, and plus you will see short horror films from some of Northern Nevada's creative film minds. Doors open. Crystal, who calls the show all the time, or sometimes, and comments on Facebook sometimes. She's been sending me pictures because I guess she's involved in one of the films.
Nice.
So yeah,
good luck.
It'll be interesting.
Because there's all if she's one of the actresses, they do have the good Best Actress awards. So.
That's true. I don't know what she's doing. I know that she's been sending me. I think she might be just doing the makeup.
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Which means that she could get an award for Best Technical. So,
yeah, exactly.
There you go. Anyway, so doors open at 6:30 p.m. For the late showing. That'll also have the silent auction, the raffle, and the costume contest, as well as the awards. So you definitely want to go to that one. But you want to be a part of Block 1, too, because you just don't know where the films are going to be shown at. So check them all out.
He didn't say how they were going to divide them.
Yeah, or if there was going to be discounted tickets if you go to both.
Yeah, he said they were working that part out. So,
but the best way to find out is by going to their website for the Silver State Storytellers, which is nvstorytellers.org. Org.
ARG?
No, org.
Oh.
Arg.
that was like 2 weeks ago.
It's not pirate. Yeah.
Speak like a
Pirate Day was, yeah. We didn't do it on the show, though.
It was during the other show on Tuesday.
Ah, that's why. Yeah. There are 342 days left until Carson City, Nevada's first ever pop culture and comic book convention. I'm talking about Kaboom Con.
So, sorry, Jimmy. It's Kaboom Con. You gotta do it right.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yes. Yes, it's a sustained boom. Yeah.
So is it more than 2 O's in the name?
No. It's
okay.
just there's an oolong over one of the O's, so you know.
Oh, there is.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it draws it out.
There is?
No.
Oh, imaginary one.
Yes,
Okay,
it's there when I look at it.
So it was announced right here by Mark Helton
Thank you.
from 97.5 Productions. They'll be putting on
Kaboom Con!
Saturday, September 7th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there's a lot going to be happening at this one-day convention, which, by the way, Mark Helton is here tonight to give us an update on everything going on with
Can you believe that it's been a month since we last talked about this with me? I mean, I know you've talked about it here on the show and given a little bit of updates here and there, but it's been a month, and a lot has happened in a month.
Good.
We went from about a month ago. We had around 13 vendors, and a lot of those weren't even like fully paid yet. They were like signed up.
Right.
Now we're at a place that we have almost 40 vendors. We have added on significant portions to the community center. So when we first started this gig off, if you will, the intention was just the gymnasium, right? 10,000 square feet.
Right.
Let's get about 40, 45 vendors in there. We'll have a little stage set up, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Are you talking about the community center in Carson City, by the way?
Yes. So, soon to be the convention center one day, hopefully. Come on, City Council. Let's make it happen.
I know, right?
So that was the intention. Let's just start with that and see where it goes. And because of the immediate response, the day after we announced here on this show was when we released the vendor application. Huge response. So Jimmy and I talked, and I was like, let's add on the boardroom. Why not? You know, it's not a huge and additional cost. It gives us the ability to have panels, the ability to do some other things. So we added on this room. Which is where the actual Carson City Council meets for governmental purposes.
Right.
And since then, again, huge outpouring of support, and we decided, you know what? Let's get the West Side parking lot, because the West Side parking lot, you can block it off so it's only for your event, and you can have more vendors out there, food vendors, beverage vendors, so that's a lot of fun. So we went ahead and did that. We secured that. We then added on the Bonanza Room, which is probably the smallest room they have available, but it's still about 600 square feet. It's up just off the theater lobby.
Oh, okay.
And that is going to be a dedicated game room where there will be tables set up. There's going to be some folks that are going to lead some D&D character creation, D&D running through some scenarios. And in general, you can come in, bring your own board game if you want, bring your own trading card game. I'm hoping somebody brings Lorcana because I really want to see it in person. I can't find it anywhere. I really wanted to buy some, but...
you know what? I think I got an article about Lorcana, actually.
Well, good, because I'd love to hear it. And the big one is we have officially added on the theater. 550-plus seats.
Wow.
The full stage. We'll have audio-visual. If somebody wants to come in and screen a creepy Carson film, we could do that. We had talked about having the Reno Video Game Symphony coming, and our original intention was for them to be in the gymnasium. We're going to throw them up on that main stage now.
Nice.
Our cosplay contest, that's going to be on that main stage now.
Nice.
So we've also increased
our broadcasting is going to be on that main stage now. We're going to be doing a special broadcast that day.
That's right. There will be a live KNVC Pop Culture Kaboom production. So how long are you going for?
I don't know. It depends on how much programming you have. It's going to be an hour minimum. I know that. Okay. So maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
Also, depending on KNBC's how they have, because they have to rearrange everything on the radio station to accommodate for that.
Sure.
And then I also got to do the show the next day. So I got to make sure I got enough material for 5 hours of show.
Well, the nice thing is that you'll have built-in guests. You could go grab somebody from the convention and be like, hey, come here, I want to interview
that's kind of not appropriate to be grabbing people.
Yes, I meant figuratively, not literally.
Oh, okay.
We'll get the hook. We'll get that hook.
So yeah, it's going to be great. There are going to be other huge panels. And again, we have that other smaller room where we can do panels in there. That room seats about 70. But yeah, the main stage, our Hall H, if you will.
I like it.
Seats over 550. And because of the rooms that we've added on to this point, we now have increased our capacity where originally we were going to be able to do at any one time maybe around 500 people, where now we've been able to push it up to about 1,500.
Nice.
So this is going to be huge.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I only talked to you into a one-day event, but
we didn't know when we started talking about this thing. It was like, let's just do one day. Let's just do this gym. Let's see, because it's never been done here in Carson City.
Right.
So let's see how it goes. And I've already literally been asked, well, what about the second year? Okay, hold on. Can we get through one?
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes first. So it's really good to hear. I'm excited. I hope that everyone here that's listening, that's local, is excited. And those of you that aren't local, get your butts to Carson, September 7th, 2024.
Right, because it's going to be... Oh, and by the way, Eric in Whittier, California says that you got to say it like the Captain Caveman now.
Captain.
Kaboom Con!
Was that?
Eh.
Okay.
Saying Captain Caveman is easier to
Rich
do.
Little is not your forte.
Not so much.
All right. That silenced Eric. All right. So that being done, come and join us. Let's get to the Phoenix question. Oh, by the way, proceeds from Kaboom Con will benefit Cold Nose Rescue and Sanctuary in Mound House and KNBC 95.1 FM Community Radio right here in Carson City. So there's going to be more announcements. There's a big announcement today, that you wanted to do.
Yeah, you want to get it over with now?
Yeah,
Yes.
well.
Sure, why not? So we mentioned that West Side parking lot that we've added it on. But now we can officially announce that dropping tomorrow will be the food and beverage vendor application. So if you or someone you know and love operates or owns a food truck or a restaurant that has the ability to go mobile, be looking for that vendor application. I'll be posting it tomorrow, probably afternoon. And, get on there, get applied, get in, because space is limited. But, it's a pretty decent-sized parking lot. Depending on, what size lot people request, I feel like we can get anywhere between 30 to 50 vendors in there.
Nice.
If we have that many that are interested. So I hope so. I'd love to have a fantastic food and drink showing.
Right.
I'm excited. This is I was at an event yesterday in Reno, and I was talking to some food vendors there, and they had actually heard about the con.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Nice. Well, that's good. Good.
And I said, well, I'm that guy that's, one of the people organizing it. And they're like, okay, so can we come? We're from Reno. I'm like, yeah. There's nothing saying you have to be from Carson.
Right.
This is for Carson. We want to show the love to Carson, but if I would love to have food trucks coming from all over. You know what I mean? That way people hopefully will realize Carson, we can do it just as well as Reno.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So and that, of course, is going to be Saturday, September 7th. Tickets are not on sale yet, but they will be probably...
I would say spring of next year.
So
we don't want to push too quick.
Yeah, but we're still, things are still being put in place. So it'll be interesting to see how everything pans out. So, yeah, I know you're holding up the award for that we'll be giving away for the youth art contest, which is really cool looking. So, any what is the youth art contest limitation anyway? How old?
So we've got 3 categories. We've got children, youth, and adult. And children is... God, I don't have my thing in front of me. Children, I believe...
You're supposed to have it memorized.
I know, right? For the life of me, I want to say children is up to 12, youth is 13 to 17, and adults is 18 plus.
Right.
Okay.
So,
but that looks really cool for the youth. Yeah, I'm sure youth would appreciate that.
Right? No, it's cool. Lights
really
up
awesome.
and everything.
Yeah, really cool. So, real quickly, let's get to the Phoenix question of the week. In the world of superheroes, the Phoenix question of the week asks of the following comic characters. Who was the first character to be in print for Marvel Comics? Your choices are Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, Jim Hammond, Thomas Halloway, or Namor McKenzie. And food
I
for
only
thought.
know 2 of those names.
I will run it down. Okay, Reed Richards is from Fantastic
Mr. Fantastic.
Four.
Exactly.
Yes, Johnny Storm is the Human Torch
Right,
from the Fantastic
exactly.
Four. Jim Hammond was the original Human Torch.
Oh, okay.
Thomas Halloway was Angel, and Namor McKenzie is the Submariner.
Right, yeah.
And I
Okay,
know
thought that was
Namor
him,
is
but I
more
wasn't sure.
recent than just about anything.
So of those 5,
I'm going to go with the original Human Torch.
the original Human Torch, Mr. Jim Hammond. Rob, what say you?
I've kind of feeling like it's maybe like a red herring to have him in there. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Reed Richards.
Reed Richards. Okay. Reed Richards and Johnny Storm were in the Fantastic Four, and they premiered in Fantastic Four #1, which came out in November of 1961.
Okay.
So keep that in mind, and we'll be right back with more. You'll get your answer. If anybody wants to call within the next minute or 2 while we're on break, I will give you a special prize, 775-515-4141. In the world of superheroes, the Phoenix question of the week asked the following comic characters. Who was the first character to be in print from Marvel Comics? Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, Jim Hammond, Thomas Holloway, or Namor Mackenzie? Call with your answer now, and I will give you a special prize, 775-515-4141. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And I'm trying to find info here, but I ain't going to be able to find it. Oh, well. All right, so we left off with the Phoenix question of the week. In the world of superheroes, the Phoenix question of the week asks of the following comic characters, who was the first character to be in print for Marvel Comics? Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, Jim Hammond, Thomas Holloway, or Namor Mackenzie. You said Reed Richards?
No.
You said... Who'd you say?
The original.
Oh, Jim Hammond,
Yes.
Human Torch.
I said Reed Richards.
And you said Reed Richards. Okay. Jim Hammond, actually, and you were right, Rob, it is kind of a trick question.
Oh.
So, Jim Hammond, the Human Torch, premiered in Marvel Comics #1 in October 1939. Thomas Holloway, the Angel, appeared in Marvel Comics #1, October 1939.
Interesting.
So they appeared in the same month.
The same comic book.
The same book.
But which
Okay.
one appeared on the first page or the
Oh,
earlier page?
I didn't get that deep. Namor Mackenzie, a.k.a. the Submariner, premiered in Motion Picture Funnies Weekly #1, April of 1939.
Really?
Wow.
Why is that a trick question? Because the first issue and only issue of Motion Picture Funnies Weekly included Bill Everett's original 8-page Submariner origin story, which was expanded by 4 pages when it eventually saw print in Marvel Comics #1, October 1939. So technically he
so
appeared
all-
first, but all 3 of those,
We're in the same
Human
month.
Torch, Angel, and Submariner, were all in the same comic book.
So the question is poorly phrased because it says Marvel, which when it appeared first, it wasn't Marvel at that point.
I know.
correct?
Right.
See, so trick question. The first publication of Marvel Comics' Golden Age predecessor, Timely Comics, the contents for which were supplied by Funnies Inc. So technically, the final panel of page 8 contained a box reading continued next week, as well as a notation indicating an April 1939 date for the art. The box remained sans words and colored in when reprinted as part of the 12-page story in Marvel Comics #1, October 1939. So technically, it was still published by Marvel, but with the April 1939 date on the artwork.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, it technically is Namor or. So the WGA strike is now officially over. Yay! But the
Finally.
SAG-AFTRA strike is now 80 days in. For anyone who thought SAG-AFTRA was busy striking against the AMPTP, think again, as they have authorized a strike against the gaming industry.
Yep.
Back at the start of September, the organization announced they would be calling for a vote to authorize the strike, which they had until September 25th to vote. SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher urged members to get their votes in as soon as possible and give the union power to call for a strike if necessary. We got the results of that vote, and it's one the entire industry should pay attention to. According to a press release sent out by the union this evening, the authorization to strike has been approved, but not just approved, overwhelmingly approved. 34,687 ballots were cast by members of the Guild, and of those votes, over 98% of them were in favor of calling a strike on interactive media. To be clear, a strike has not been called yet, only that the members have the approval to start one if negotiations with the industry leaders fail. The 10 companies the Guild highlighted for these talks are Activision, Blind Light, Disney, again, Electronic Arts, Epic Games, Formosa Interactive, Insomniac Games, Take-Two Interactive, VoiceWorks Productions, and Warner Brothers Games. In a joint statement, SAG-AFTRA and AMPTP confirmed that they will be meeting Monday, October 2nd. So hopefully
Mañana.
hopefully that will get
It's the
resolved.
first step, so...
If they would get resolved.
Yeah, well, no, it's a good step because hopefully then, like, it'll kick butt the other people into actually hard negotiations, you know?
Hopefully. Maybe. So that is the main story there. I'm glad the writer strike is.
Yes,
So that
me
means
too.
that now I can have more people on the show.
Yes.
Yay! One person I've been waiting for. He's the one who forewarned me that this would be happening. Was Mark Ferguson.
Yes.
So you know who that is?
I recognize the name.
He basically, him and Hawk Ospey, they were the original script writers for Iron Man, so they technically started the MCU.
That explains why I recognize the name.
And they are also the ones who did Children of Men,
Okay.
and also Aliens versus Cowboys, the original script. Then it got passed through a couple of different hands, and they were not happy about it.
Well, yeah, the final product was...
And they were the ones who did the Expanse TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least for the first 4 years, then they were just executive producers.
They have a new...
They were writers, but they are going to be writing the God of War
Yeah.
TV series.
Based on the video game?
Yes.
That's... Okay.
So, I was going to have him on to talk about that, but he's like, well, in a couple months, we might be on strike. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, then never mind. So, I've been waiting for this to happen, so now I can send him an email and say, hey, Mark, ready to
Time
come
to
on
come
and
on.
talk to you've got a couple of days to get back to work. You want to come back on and come on now?
Absolutely.
All right. So Marvel Comics, here's a little collector's warning for you. And after when I get to the end here, we'll see what if you guys can pick out why. It's a big deal.
Okay.
Marvel Comics' well-promoted marriage of Tony Stark and Emma Frost happened this week in an Invincible Iron Man number 10, but not the way fans expected. Lucas Furnick's connecting covers for X-Men number 26 and Invincible Iron Man number 10 suggested the wedding of the X-Man and the Avenger would be a glitzy affair attended by their superhero friends from across the Marvel Universe, but that's not how things ended up. The duo got married in a small ceremony attended by no superheroes and one supervillain, and the legal bindings of their union may not hold up in court. Those following the Fall of X storyline know that Orcus has exiled mutants from Earth following the second mutant massacre at the Hellfire Gala. Those few X-Men still on Earth hide in sewers and use technology to master mutant signatures from Sentinels built with Tony Stark's designs, a.k.a. wasn't that the Morlocks from the first mutant massacre? But anyway, I digress. However, Tony is on his back foot after Feilong, an anti-mutant industrialist who has thrown in with Orcus, took over Tony's company and repossessed his Iron Man armor. Emma Frost has been hiding in the guise of Hazel Kendall, Tony's assistant. They were meeting in the Hellfire Club with an unlikely ally and the club's new Black King, Wilson Fisk. When Feilong walked in on Tony trying to put the ring that masked Emma's true identity back on her finger, scrambling for an explanation, Tony proposed to Ms. Kendall. Turning the situation to their advantage, Tony and Emma used their unexpected impending nuptials to lure Feilong, period. I got to not do run-on sentences. That's kind of annoying. The elope going for a Las Vegas wedding, knowing that Feilong, having been pointedly not invited to the ceremony, wouldn't be able to stop himself from crashing the party. Emma uses this opportunity, a rare moment when she and Tony have Feilong alone, to dig into his mind and discover new information, including that this all began because Feilong resented his parents for being mutants when he was not. Okay. I don't make this stuff up, people. But Tony and Emma must keep up appearances. Once Feilong is allowed to regain his senses, they complete the ceremony with Tony and Hazel Kendall pronounced husband and wife. In addition to learning Feilong's evil villain origin story, Tony and Emma get the information they need to fight back against the Stark Sentinels, and that Tony's father, Howard Stark, had learned about the existence of Mysterium, but never got his hands on any. The issue ends with hints that Tony may be trading his Iron Man armor for a suit made of this Mysterium metal. Invincible Iron Man number 10 is on sale now. The Fall of X story continues in the upcoming X-Men number 27 and in Invincible Iron Man number 11. So why is this a collector's warning, Mark?
I'm going to go with because this is going to be the first time we get the introduction of Mysterium.
Okay. No, it's been out there before. Rob?
Because Because they aren't really married?
Even if they aren't, okay, there's a couple of, actually, that was a trick question. There's a couple of things, a lot of trick questions this week. First off is the nuptials, of course. That's going to, even if it doesn't, when Spider-Man married Mary Jane, that was a big deal. When, I'm trying to remember the other big Marvel wedding.
Cyclops.
Cyclops and Jean Grey, and also Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right.
When those two got married. It was always a big deal.
Right.
So a wedding between an Avenger and an X-Men, and it's kind of the first mutant and Avenger wedding. So there's one reason. Reason number two is it's an origin story for a villain. And whenever there's an origin story for a character, that kind of cements them as part of canon, and those are always...
I didn't realize it was the origin of that Filon guy.
And especially if that ever gets used
in
for
the
a
future,
series.
yeah, or anything else, then yeah, that's why.
I guess I'm going to have to head over to the comic book store.
Robert said Horton, the original Human Torch, but yeah, we've already gone.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks for trying.
And sorry about my slow reading. I end up Iron Man. What? Okay, thanks for playing, Eric. I don't know what that means. So, anyway, so that is why that is a collector's warning. So feel free to stop by your local comic book shop and pick one of those up, because, yeah, it's going to be important in the near future. That's for sure. Yeah, if I could find where I'm going to be at, where is my stuff? Where is my stuff?
I love Dead Air. It's such a fun thing to have.
Dead air is bad air. Apparently, I didn't open it. Hold on. Stand by. We are suffering from technical difficulties.
I guess so. Then technically, I was kind of right, because I said that it was about the wedding, but I was thinking it was because the wedding was not real.
Well, it's a Las Vegas wedding. How much can that really hold up in court? You know.
They hold up in court very well.
Beauty of Nevada. They're easy to uphold. They're also easy to turn over.
But not well. That would be an interesting one. Find out when the last time somebody actually had a Las Vegas wedding in a comic book. And that's probably why. Whoever wrote this obviously doesn't know what they're talking about with weddings from Nevada.
We should see if there's any that actually got divorced and threw their ring over the bridge in Reno.
See if they really did. They really wanted to do it right. If it was a Vegas wedding, they would have had an Elvis impersonator doing the nuptials. But no, I saw the pictures. It's not. From the comic books being released October 4th, at least here, I highlight the #1 issues and or major story or anniversary issues that are being released, because those are the ones that have the most value interest to collectors and investors. Please don't base your buying decisions on my opinion. It is, after all, only my opinion. To keep this list to a minimum, I do not include in it trade paperbacks, graphic novel collections, hardcover, softcover volumes, or reprints. If you're an independent company or creator and you have something coming out, please let me know by sending me an email at popculturekaboom@gmail.com. Put upcoming comics in the subject line, and in the body of the email, please put the title of the book, when it'll be coming out, the publisher's name, and the issue number, so that I can add it in the future. Yes, sir. Excuse me. Archie Comic Publications has Archie Halloween Spectacular #1 one-shot.
Yay.
Boom Studios has Abbott 1979 #1 of 5 with a wallet-busting 5 cover variants. Ranger Academy #1 with a wallet-busting 7 cover variants. Chaos Quill Comics has Crestar and the Night Stallion #1 of 5 with 3 cover variants. Dark Horse Comics has Midnight Show #1 with 3 cover variants. DC Comics has DC's Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun #1 one shot with 4 cover variants. I know.
Is there a Cindy Loper?
Oh boy. That was painful, Rob. Painful. I know. Justice Society of America Gold Edition #1 with 2 cover variants. New Golden Age Special Edition #1 with 2 cover variants. Dynamite Entertainment has Alice Cooper Volume 2 #1 of 5 with a bank-busting 12 cover variants. All right, guessing game time.
Okay.
Vampirilla Dead Flowers #1 of 4 with how many cover variants?
13.
Rob?
Vampirella #4.
#1 of 4.
#1 of 4. Ooh. I'm going to go with 23.
Wow. 10 apart, but he was closer. A bank-busting 20 cover variants.
I don't understand.
I mean, neither. Eric says, smack Rob upside the head for me because that had Cindy Lauper one comment, I guess. And he said 15 variants. So he was in the same ballpark as you, but both of you were wrong. And Vampirilla, this is actually interesting. Vampirilla Magazine #1 Facsimile Edition.
Oh.
So, facsimile edition, you know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So how is there that many cover variants that if it's a facsimile edition?
There is no cover variants.
Oh, this one's different. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were referring to the last one.
No,
Sorry.
the last one was just Vampirilla Dead Flowers #1 of 4. This one is Vampirilla Magazine #1 facsimile edition. And unlike Marvel, they didn't do 1,000 cover variants for something that didn't have cover variants back then. Ego Manga has Numaverse and Origins #1. I think I pronounced all of that correctly. IDW Publishing has Star Trek Halloween #1 with 3 cover variants.
I'm sorry, was that HOLLOW?
HOLO-WEEN.
Like the hollow deck.
Yeah, okay. Halloween.
I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, no, Eric. What they mean by a facsimile edition with the Vampirilla magazine is that when it is reproducing the actual Vampirilla magazine #1 with everything how it originally was. It has the original cover art, the original interior art, and the original ads that were run at that when it actually came out. So it's called the facsimile edition for. I don't know why.
Don't they generally try to even use the same materials?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think color wise they do. Like you know.
I don't know.
But it's interesting. I'd like to see some of those like Sea Monkey ads or whatever. You know, like X-ray goggles. Wow. Remember, like they used to have those. Like,
yeah. You know, and you're like, holy crap, that was only $1. And Image Comics has Transformers #1 with a wallet-busting 9 cover variants. Walking Dead Deluxe #1 newsprint edition, which I have no idea what that means. Mad Cave Studios has Devil That Wears My Face #1 with 2 cover variants.
I'm sorry, what?
Where's my face?
Devil That Wears My Face.
Oh, the devil. Okay.
I was thinking, dude, where's my face?
Oh, yeah. It's one of those. And that means it is time for us to take a hard break. When we get back, there'll be more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show with our special in-studio co-host guest, Mr. Mark Helton of 97 and Now Productions. We still got a lot to talk about. Episode number 6 of Murphy's Inc. Season 2 is on tonight after the show, so we still got to talk about that as well as some other things. And speaking of Star Trek, I see you got a red shirt on, so
I'm gonna die tonight.
And we'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Boom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. There it is. Why won't you be at the? Oh, she'll be in L.A. But Crystal is sent me more pictures from the horror show thing just now.
Oh, nice.
In a montage.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice work.
Yeah, very very nice work. So I wonder if she is listening. Let me see, what does she have to say about that? I'm bummed I won't be at the screening, but she will, because she will be adventuring in L.A. Because her daughter has an invite to the L.A. Fashion Week.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Bougie.
Fancy.
Right?
Fancy. Just let's wrap up the comic books real quick. Marvel Comics says Alien Annual #1 with 4 cover variants. Amazing Spider-Man, The Birth of Tombstone #1 is a Halloween Trick or Read 2023 edition.
What?
Halloween Trick or Read. It's kind of like, almost like, not quite like Free Comic Book Day. They put out these special little issues that you can pick up.
Were they used to be the little ones?
I'm not sure. Maybe if Robert's listening, he can give us a call and let us know. Gods, it's an acronym, G.O.A.S. #1 with a wallet-busting 7 cover variants. Ghost Rider Annual #1 with 2 cover variants. Moon Knight Night of Blood #1 and it is a Halloween Trick or Read 2023 edition. Spidey and His Amazing Friends is a Halloween Trick or Read 2023 edition. Star Wars The High Republic Attack of the Huts #1 which is a Halloween Trick or Read 2023 edition. Star Wars The High Republic Shadows of Starlight #1 with 4 cover variants, and Strange Academy The Amazing Spider-Man #1 with 3 cover variants. Scout Comics has Feng Ji #1 with 2 cover variants, and Mom Breaks the Internet #1 with 2 cover variants. And those are your comic books coming out. What's up?
I just have a dirty mind, I guess.
Okay. Thanks for not sharing.
I don't know if I can.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for not sharing. Okay. So Electronic Arts revealed that they have on the horizon, what they have on the horizon for EA Sports TC.
Oh, got a call.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, what's going on?
So what's up with these Trick or Read 2023 editions?
I don't know. We had to order them last minute. They were solicited at the last minute, and I don't know if they're full-sized or not.
Huh. Okay. Are they, is there a cost to them, or are they free, kind of like free comic book day?
It's like free comic book day.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right. So,
And when does that start? Is there a day?
No, there's no specific day this year. We're going to try to do something towards the end of the month.
Okay.
so you had to order them last minute. That means you haven't gotten them yet?
We have not received them yet.
Okay. So, yeah, probably. So if you go trick-or-treating, go stop by your local comic book shop and say trick or read.
Right.
And get yourself some free comics. Right?
Exactly.
Awesome. You'll let us know what you're doing at the end of the month?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what did you think about that? What were we talking about with Star Trek? I can't remember now. Oh, yeah, the Star
Think about
Trek
what?
Halloween.
Anything to make a buck.
Ain't that the truth? All right, so I guess you're not going to be picking that one up either.
Oh, look at it.
Right? Yeah.
It's there. You might as well.
You have the ability to peruse it.
Yeah. That's the whole story behind that one. All right, well, hey, thanks. Anything else, sir?
No, not really. Just open and, ready for business.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
You invoked his name, so.
I know. I invoked the
Oh, no.
word. Yeah, his ears were burning. His ears are burning like Human Torch.
Right.
There you go.
So I'm a little confused by that, actually. Maybe you can help me with that, because I'm not a big fan or whatever. But the original Human Torch, wasn't he an android?
It was.
So how does
It was
he have...
an android. That's why I put Horton, because that's the creator. Professor Horton.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And he had a little android sidekick named Toro.
Toro? Wasn't that like the kid one or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
How goofy.
The
Okay.
Human Torch and Toro.
Watch, when they do the new Fantastic Four film, that's going to be there.
A little Johnny Storm Jr.
Something. They got to give a nod.
Yeah, it'll be like
That'd be his dog or something.
right, yeah.
His flaming dog. Okay, it's a hot dog. Anyway.
Thank you.
Oh, the new version of crypto.
Just throw him on the grill. All right. Talk to you later, Robert.
Boy.
And, thank you for
All right,
calling in.
sounds good.
And thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that.
No worries.
All right. So Electronic Arts revealed that they have what they have on the horizon for EA Sports FC in terms of esports, as they revealed their plans for the new FC Pro Circuit.
We got another... No. I think we have another call.
Nope.
Lies.
Yeah. The system is a little buggy. Yeah. New game means a brand new exosystem, a tournament structure, and championship, as they have thrown out all of their old systems for this brand new sports title. Beginning in October, the 1 million weekly competition circuit will start, as it will span 10 regions, with top players clinching a spot in the first ever FC Pro World Championship. FC Pro will continue in February of 2024 with FC Pro Leaguers, which serves as an invite-only circuit, with several leagues and federation programs confirmed for FC Pro 24, including EMLS, E-La Liga, E-Premier League, and others. The pinnacle of FC Pro competition, the FC Pro World Championship, pits 32 proven competitors from the FC Pro Open and FC Pro Leagues against one another in a battle for glory. Players must navigate group play and a single elimination bracket to take home their share of the U.S. $1 million prize pool and claim the title of the first ever FC Pro World Championship in June of 2024. It's people playing video games. I don't know why they call it a sport.
So,
unless they're on a treadmill while they're playing, I don't see why they consider it a sport.
I mean, that's just like saying, why is Texas Hold'em on ESPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I'm a huge gamer.
But there's always money on the line with poker.
There's money on the line in these sports.
Well, you just said $1 million prize pool, right?
There has been, though, for a while.
The sad reality of our society today is people would rather sit and watch somebody play a video game on YouTube than actually play the video game. Mm-hmm. That I don't get.
That I don't either. My daughter does that, and I'm like, why aren't you?
Don't get me wrong. There are times I'm playing Starfield right now. I absolutely love this game, right? And there are points where I'm like, what do I do?
Yes.
What is the alternate outcome if I choose this?
Yes.
And so I'll make my choice, but then I go on to YouTube and I'm like, okay, what happened if I would have done this? Mm-hmm. And I'll watch that play out because that's interesting. And I'm not a huge replayer. Plus, with Assassin's Creed coming out this next week, I just got to get through Starfield.
That ain't happening.
I'm
like nowhere. I don't even know how many hours I've invested in it right now, but like I'm nowhere even near like a quarter of the way through the main mission.
Yeah, it is an amazing game. Don't get me wrong. But as you were laying this out, I'm like, FC, that generally in sports, that's football club. And I'm like, I am not aware of an EA soccer game. And so I looked it up while you were talking about it. And indeed, it is for football club. And, you know, I get the first-person shooter games, stuff like that, those having tournaments. I even get the Madden because there's, huge tie-in. But EA, FC, I don't know. I guess it is the most popular sport in the world.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's just because we're not big soccer people. I think that's why we don't we don't
those
get
soccer
it.
games are huge.
Oh, yeah. And they're getting even bigger, especially now that Messi joined Miami and like, yeah.
Wow. Something Eric says that he's addicted to The Witcher, 198-hour playthrough time. Wow.
That is, well, it depends on
in
how
one
long.
sitting. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I mean, 200 hours.
He's
over
like blind
how long?
now. Like, what are you talking about in one sitting?
So McDonald's might have never made an anime series on their own to focus on the fast food establishment, but 2023 has seen the restaurant participating in the anime medium in various ways. Mm-hmm. In recent marketing campaigns, McDonald's featured an advertisement that harkened back to the Devil is a Part-Timer anime series and even created an anime segment of its own in Japan. Now the franchise in Taiwan is teaming up with the Z Fighters as part of a campaign to help push the latest Dragon Ball trading cards. Mm-hmm. Sure. Not only will the new campaign feature cards displaying the likes of Son Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and many others, but Taiwan's McDonald's restaurants will also feature exclusive packaging and meals dedicated to Akira Toriyama's brainchild. Unfortunately, the fast food franchise hasn't confirmed if this marketing campaign will be making its way to North America. The campaign itself has already begun in Taiwan and will last until October 10th, offering anime fans to collect a Dragon Ball Z character blind card packs, which house 4 unique trading cards based on the Shonen franchise. Following the promotion for the trading cards, McDonald's Taiwan will then give fans the chance to pick up some official Dragon Ball Z playing cards as well. You can visit the official website for more information. Or if you know somebody in or who will be going to Taiwan, tell them to pick you up like 9,000 of them and bring them back.
I think it would be better if they like actually did them as like the Hamburglar or Grimace or...
Well, they did. I don't know if they still are, but they've been doing the Pokemon in the Happy Meals.
Yeah,
and so I agree. I would love to see them do like South Park did Chimpokemon.
Yeah,
well, McDonald's should do their own version.
Right. Yeah, that's what I like. Especially since they're tying with like these Dragon Ball Z. It's perfect time to like even, and all they had to do really put them in purple. Like
Mayor McCheese, Grimace, Rubble.
Exactly. That would have been great.
Didn't they get rid of Grimace?
No, they just had a big old shake. It was like the most popular
the
thing that
Grimace
they
shake.
did.
Yeah, I know they had the Grimace shake, but I thought it was to say goodbye to the character or something like that. So, which was because I thought it was kind of weird because like here's the Grimace shake, and we're saying goodbye to Grimace. Well, is he in the shake? I mean, that was kind of weird.
He died.
Yeah,
Stage
and
4.
That's what.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
We were all eating him.
They put him in a big blender, liquefied him. That's how we got the shake.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
Maybe just taste the Grimace.
You know what's really nasty? Remember the Shamrock Shake?
Yes.
Yeah. You ever see somebody nose pass that crap? Oh, that was a sight. Made somebody laugh so hard they nose passed the Shamrock Shake. Yeah, nothing like a green stream coming out the nose. And with that thought, Disney Starbucks tumbler are highly collectible, but they're about to release one that fans are going to go nuts for. A tumbler inspired by Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas is about to launch, and it is pretty damn exciting for exciting as far as cups are concerned. It's set to launched on September 29th, so 2 days ago, and everything you need to know to get one can be found at their website. Here's an update, though, from that article that came out. As expected, the tumbler sold out in a heartbeat, leaving many fans angry.
Oh, yeah.
However, Disney has confirmed that it will return on October 4th at 12 a.m. Pacific Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time, at the Shop Disney website. You'll want to be ready and waiting at launch time. The Nightmare Before Christmas Starbucks tumbler features classic characters like Jack, Sally, and Zero set against a dark gray background. It may or may not glow in the dark by the looks of things. So I saw pictures of it, and I could not tell. Nor could I tell if it was one of those things where if it heated up, it would like show the characters.
They usually aren't. They're just like superbly collector items that you can only get at the Disneyland Starbucks like location. That's the main like thing. Is like that's why I'm surprised when you said like when you were like 12 o'clock. I'm like, are they going to open up downtown Disney for this? Like,
No,
I was
it's a Shop Disney website.
no, because like now I'm excited. I have a chance to get one.
Just make sure you stay up.
Yeah. So let me get to this before we have to take this break, because this is what you were talking about. Disney Lorcana's reprint is coming earlier than expected and will include a second run of Rise of the Floodborn. Last month, Ravensburg announced that they were moving forward with a reprint of Disney Lorcana, the first chapter, with an expected arrival time of first quarter of 2024. After massive demand for the new card game led to mass sellouts at hobby stores and mass retailers. In a statement provided exclusively to comicbook.com, Ravensburg confirmed that the reprint will include product from the first chapter as well as Rise of the Floodborn. The upcoming second set due out for release in November to address increased demand following the game's initial launch. In September, Ravensburg announced plans to reprint the first set of the Disney Lorcana trading card game. The first chapter, the statement reads, the reprint will also be included in the second set of the game, Rise of the Floodborn, and is expected to be available by holiday 2023 in North America and by January 2024 in Europe. Comicbook.com asked Ravensburg about the size of the upcoming Disney Lorcana reprint compared to the initial print run of the first set, which they said, we cannot discuss quantities. But our goal has always been to get as much product into the hands of fans as possible, and we are continuing to work with our suppliers to increase production to better meet demand as quickly as possible, said Ryan Miller, Senior Brand Manager and Disney Lorcana TCG co-designer at Ravensburg. I can confirm that the reprint will include both starter decks and booster packs. Comicbook.com also asked about allocations between game stores and mass retailers. While we can't discuss the allocation split, well, they can't discuss anything, can they? Supporting independent holiday retailers with Disney Lorcana TCG continues to be our number one priority. Miller replied, Disney Lorcana is perhaps the hottest trading card game on the market since it was released in August, with Disney fans standing in line overnight at Gen Con to be among the first to get their hands on the game. Hobby stores received allocated stock of Disney Lorcana 2 weeks before mass retailers did, with many choosing to sell the limited product they received at prices far higher than MSRG. Demand for Disney Lorcana also led to quick sellouts at many mass retailers, which they received this stock 2 weeks later. It's going to sell out to the mass retailers because they're not doing the big old markup that these little shops did. Anyway. I digress.
Gosh, I can't believe. It's like, you want to shop at the little shops, but then like you
Not if
hear
they're going
that.
to rip you off like that.
That's what I
yeah.
mean. When you hear that.
All right, so if you've missed any part of tonight's show so far, you can go and check it out at the Pop Culture Kaboom podcast, presented by 97 to Now Productions. You're
welcome.
And you can find that wherever you get your favorite podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get new episodes as they come out, as well as bonus material, which will be available soon. So with that being said, we'll be back shortly with our special guest, Holly Spahr, who is the co-owner of Dark Corner Haunted House. So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show right after this. Yep. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom, a radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And nothing exemplifies my fascination more than Season 2 of Sci-Fi's Channel Zero, titled No End House of Haunted Attractions. Hey, did you guys ever see that show?
Yes. Channel Zero? Yeah.
Channel Zero. Remember the second season? No.
Yes.
Okay. What No End House was, the whole season was about a haunted house that appeared out of nowhere. It was never in the same place twice each year.
Interesting.
And it got kind of really heady towards the end. But
Yeah.
the original concept of it, like the first couple of episodes, I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But that brings me to Dark Corner Haunted House. It is an immersive experience filled with terrifying live actors, jaw-dropping special effects, and menacing monsters. Rob and I, and Spencer, who is currently maybe he got chased down the hallway, so I think he got eaten by the infected. But so that's why he's not here with us. I was lying that he's out doing something else. But anyway, so Rob and I got to experience the media and VIP night on Wednesday.
Yes.
So I can attest that this is going to be great. And everybody, and here to tell you all about it is co-owner of Dark Corner Haunted House, Holly Spahr. And how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. So did you ever see the Sci-Fi's Channel Zero?
I did not.
Oh, you should check that out. Rent it, or not rent it, stream it. But it was really cool. I think you would enjoy it, being the owner of or co-owner of Dark Corner Haunted House, because it's about a haunted house.
I'll look it up tonight.
So you last year, which was your first year, the Dark Corner's Haunted House was voted Reno's best haunted attraction. Congratulations on that for last year.
Nice.
And
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We got to check it out this year, and the Dark Corner Haunted House is at the National Bowling Stadium in downtown Reno. You can't miss it. I mean, you don't really need an address. Just look for the big silver ball in the middle of downtown, and there you go. You have two separate haunted houses going on this year. So, year two, twice the fun. 25,000 square feet of terror, multiple stories, over 80-plus live actors. So how did you decide to go so big in your second year?
Yes, we expanded so large this year. We are 2 haunted houses for the price of one, but you do travel throughout one giant cohesive storyline, which is where the first haunted house takes you through Dark Lane Mall, a play on Reno's old Park Lane Mall. We have a haunted retail space. We have plays on old mall stores. We have a Rot Topic instead of Hot Topic. We have Block Blister instead of Blockbuster. And as you travel throughout this condemned mall, you're trying to look for the freak show that's taken over. But you realize why the mall was condemned was because of this plant species that took over and is now causing the shadow plague infection. So as you yourself, as a patron through the haunted house, travel through the storyline, you become a member of the storyline. You are now infected with the shadow plague, which takes you to House 2, our second haunted house, which is where, because of your shadow plague infection, if you've been anywhere in or around the old mall, we're going to have to scan you for a public health screening to make sure that, you're safe to be in the town of Dark Lane. So as you go to see Dr. Stain and you start to get your treatment, you realize you're so infected that, you know what, you might just have to end it all here for the sake of the town. We're going to have to get rid of you. But then we realize there's something more sinister going on outside the hospital, and they might have another storyline for you to get into. They might try to save you and have them join them, and might be doing something a little more sinister with the growth and infection and spread of the shadow plague itself. So come on downtown Reno at the National Bowling Stadium. We are a huge haunted house this year. It's 2 for the price of one. so many actors, so many scares, so much better than last year. Come see it.
And you got this interesting thing going on called the VIP experience. When you purchase a VIP ticket, you get to immediately skip everything from going, and you get front of the line access. That includes a custom 2023 Dark Corner VIP badge and lanyard. And you get to go and check out the private horror art collection, which was really cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
So how did
yeah, let me tell you a little more about it.
Please.
Yeah, a VIP access pass will get you, like you said, that badge and lanyard, which will get you immediate access to the haunted houses. But if you weren't to get immediate access and have to stand in line, because lines do get long, our haunted house is very popular and tickets are limited. So you want to get one now online to save your place in line. But outside is fun too. If you're stuck in line, we have outside line actors, DJs, clowns, fire dancers, the whole 9 yards. But if you want to skip right in as a VIP, you get right into House 1. When you finish House 1, which is already a super long experience, you get to take a pause in our VIP lounge, which is a vintage room in the National Bowling Stadium called the Stadium Club, which has a beautiful view of downtown Reno, beautiful adorned pieces of furniture. We have a horror art gallery collection, which is our fine art gallery of memorabilia we've collected over our lives, and we put it on display, some of our higher quality pieces to tell you about it. We have behind the scenes films of us creating the haunted house on display. We have vintage movies playing behind the bar. Beetlejuice, it was the other day. And you also get a free gift. So that's going to change every day of season. It might be a free drink. It might be a free T-shirt. Who knows? You're going to get a free drink that night as a VIP. So VIP tickets are $50 online or $60 at the door. If you'd like to experience it as a VIP, you can take that break in that lounge and get that treatment in between the two haunted houses. At the end of both haunted houses or both times, you can do unlimited time in that lounge as a VIP to Dark Corner Haunted House.
And this weekend was opening weekend. You opened up on Friday, September 29th, and yesterday, September 30th. How did it go?
It went great. Yes, we were open for Friday and Saturday night from 6 p.m. till midnight. It'll be those same hours this upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday from 6 p.m. till midnight. It went great. I think we had about 200 patrons per night. We had so much fun. We had a guest slider out. We have traveling actors coming periodically throughout the week. If you're going to experience it with us this week, we have Jim Strange coming from New Jersey, a really talented performer. So, yes, any weekend you come, you're going to experience a new street performer and a little something different. So come out this weekend from Friday and Saturday, 6:30 till midnight.
And it is www.darkcornerhaunt.com if you want to go and pick up those tickets. If you want the VIP tickets, they are limited, so you definitely want to get them online now. And you guys are only going to be open for 13 days this year. So 2 days are already up, so there's only 11 days left.
Right.
So next weekend, the 6th to 7th, then the day won't be open again until my birthday, Friday, October 13th, and then on Saturday the 14th. So Saturday the 14th is going to be interesting, too, because it's going to be that Ring of Fire solar eclipse that'll be going on Saturday morning. So...
Right. There's a lot of interesting days this month, not only with outside events like that, but also within our haunted house. We do have theme nights this month. So we're going to be doing something special for Friday the 13th. We have an LGBTQ plus night. We have all kinds of different themes nights this month. So you can check out our calendar online at darkcornerhaunt.com.
Cool. And you're going to be a part of you're going to be open and part of the zombie crawl. That's the Reno zombie crawl.
That's right. We're a stop on Reno zombie crawl, and we're also a part of Nightmare on 4th Street, another event happening downtown Reno in participation with Pitchback Printing and a bunch of other businesses on 4th Street. So keep your ears open for information on that as well.
Nightmare on 4th Street, isn't that just basically any Friday night in Reno?
I know, right? Like it.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
just kidding,
there's
Reno.
Trying to do events and brighten up the downtown scene. So although we are a spooky attraction downtown, it really does draw out families and a good audience to the sidewalks of downtown Reno. So it's safe and it's fun and it's a great place to be.
Okay. And some of the other special events going on, because on the 19th is when you expand to 3 days, being open Thursday the 19th through Saturday the 21st. And then the Thursday the 26th is Day of the Dead night. and then you're going to be open the 27th and 28th, and then closed and only open again on Halloween night. So, which is Tuesday, October 31st, and that is it until next year. But
That's
not
it.
really, because you guys do a lot of stuff year round with the Dark Corners Haunted House, right?
That's right. Our community sticks together all year round. After spooky season's over, we spend the rest of the year out in the community. We've participated in all kinds of events this year. We were at Pride. We recently ran a blood drive. We cleaned up Whitaker Cemetery recently. And we do all kinds of things to keep our close-knit group of, we call it the Haunt family. We keep our Haunt family together doing fun things, helping the community, and developing our show for the next year all year long. Because we start developing our show for next year in February, and all of us local artists spend almost every day of the whole year prepping for these 13 awesome nights.
And when we were there on Wednesday, we shot video. I just got done looking at it, downloading it all, and taking a look at it. By the way, I need to send you the pictures that I took.
Oh, please.
I did not forget about that. So I'll be sending those out tomorrow. And so look at your email for a, what is it? Dropbox link, because there are so many that I took.
Okay.
So video-wise, I'll be having a video up on the YouTube channel. Spencer being chased by ghouls and goblins and all kinds of fun critters. That was a fun thing to shoot. And of course, the opening monologue is going to be an interesting one too. You guys got to check that out, which kind of sets up for the whole Spencer chase scene. But but it was lots of fun, and I encourage everybody to go and check it out. It is the Dark Corner Haunted House, and it is at darkcornerhaunt.com. So y'all guys also did what are you going to do next year? Well, not this time of year, because now it's actually turning into fall weather. But next spring or summer, are you guys going to do the clown car wash again?
You heard about that, huh?
Oh, I was going to attend it, but I'm like, I just couldn't get up to Reno. But yeah, I saw the pictures and everything. It was cool.
Yes,
that would have been
Corner
fun.
Haunt and Punk. Yeah, we did that with Punk Rock Flea Market as a fundraiser for our artistic punk rock communities of artists and makers and doers and weirdos in Reno. We came together as some froggy clowns to wash some cars and raise a few dollars for our art project. So if anyone listening is inspired to help sponsor anyone of the doer and maker community in Reno, like the Punk Rock Flea Market, or us, like Dark Corner Haunted House, we are both looking for sponsors to do what we do best, which is create amazing, immersive art experience for the public of Reno and to bring weirdos and artists together.
Okay. Anything you want to add in closing? So this year, I'm hoping you guys have a very successful year, a very successful run. And you're already looking to next year, or are you going to save that for February?
Oh, we have to go into quick hibernation in November and December, and then we'll hatch out of the egg again and come up with our storyline for next year.
Slip into a coma after spending like 24/7 fixing up their
right
house.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, you take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and let everybody else know that the same thing everybody involved with the Dark Corners Haunted House. Again, if you want to go and check it out, darkcornerhaunt.com. They are live now. Well, not live, but they are active now, and they will be open on
yes, weekend.
October 6th and 7th is the next time they are open. Go check them out and get your tickets now, and they will be at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada, right downtown. Just look for the Silver Ball across from the Silver Legacy, actually. Ouch.
That's right.
As I get clunked on the head. So thank you for coming on and talking with us about that, Holly. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And you have a good evening.
You have a good evening as well.
All right. So any questions, Mark, about the... are you going to go?
I don't know. For me, I think the best haunted house that you could do in downtown Reno, because it already sounds like they're trying to go, touching on reality and immersive, is, it should include a homeless encampment where the homeless come at you.
Well, it's by 4th Street. So.
Yes, exactly, right? You walk off the street where
And the
they're
bus
all around
terminal,
you, and then you walk in there, and now you're actually getting accosted even more so. I think...
honestly, the actors that are in
they were really good.
Oh yeah,
it was funny because we got to go through with all the lights off, or I should say on.
Yeah,
and
it was called the art tour, so
yes.
you could actually see all the effort that they put into.
And they had
every single room.
They had a few actors, just like out there, and I don't know, like because we ended up going in separate groups, but like the group that I was with, there was this lady who she was probably about like, because we were a group of 8, she was about like 6 person in or so, and they like. The actor would occasionally like jump out at the first person. She was screaming at like every time that it jumped out at the first person. It was hilarious. And then like the guy knew because like, and they built so many immersive back walls that these guys, like the same actor we saw in like 6 different scenes, and he just was going behind.
And it's like the Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah,
in there.
had all these little openings and everything to where they can like get you, and it was great because like that's what he was doing in the middle of the day, and it was just scaring this lady. It was like great.
Yeah, we had a guy like that in our group too.
Okay,
I've actually done like as an actor, I've done it from that side, and there was one I can't remember, Pirates of Emerson, I think is what it was called in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it was cool because I was told, okay, here's where you're going to be, here's your scare points,
right?
And so I had like 4 or 5 different points where I could do it. But for me, walking through them isn't as enjoying. I prefer like psychological scary than I do like jump scares. And so because 99% of the time with the jump scares, I'm just like, hi, So for me, it's and I have a little one who I'm not going to take because she's way too little, right? And so that's where it's like, probably not going to spend the money on it this year. But
what's good
you
about
would enjoy it.
I'm going to tell you what's good about this one is that the jump scares don't all involve actors.
Yeah. There's a lot of
and
stuff
that's all I'm
going
going to say.
Because they do have animatronics.
Nice.
They have animatronics. They have other pneumatic things, and
the video
Lights,
I shot because I shot a video of Rob and Spencer doing a walkthrough of it with the lights off.
And that was about, they didn't even have all the rooms like completely filled with their actors.
No. Rob jumped a couple of times, and then Spencer would like drift back like a good 6-7 as Rob would get near a corner. Spencer kept getting further and further away from him until they got around the corner.
A good scarer knows to wait. You see that, right? And you're like, no, I'm not going to get the first one. I'm going to get the guy in the middle.
See, anytime I'm in a group, usually, this time around, I wasn't because I was letting Spencer go ahead in the front because I was looking at everything because I really like horror and Halloween stuff, deco. So I was looking at everything and taking pictures of stuff and everything. So, but usually when I go through these things, everybody pushes me out into the front because I don't I'm like you. the jump scares really don't affect me.
Yeah.
I usually laugh or I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, stop it, man. You're messing up my thing because you're getting too close and like overly examining. I'm supposed to be scaring you. So everybody pushes me, go ahead and go. And like everybody's behind me like a Scooby-Doo cartoon or something.
But no, it's more effective though, as Mark was saying, is if you actually get the person in the middle,
Yeah. But so I forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, so yeah, I think it was a fun thing to go through again this year. I think
I enjoyed myself.
Very much improved over last year. So definitely, if you're in the Reno area, go check it out. And speaking of checking things out, we'll be checking out movies when we get back with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo from Filippo's Horrible Reviews. So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show right after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Each week, the film powers that be release dozens of movies, some of which you will never hear about except here. Each week's upcoming releases are carefully picked over from Rotten Tomatoes, and up to 5 films are selected for genres that I would watch, and those genres are action, adventure, horror, science fiction, anime, or fantasy, and that is pretty much it. With that in mind, we sift through some of the most hideous trailers ever made, and we'll read you the synopsis of each film, then give you our not-so-humble opinions. Bear in mind, we are not professional movie critics. We're just overly opinionated blowhards, but Mr. Tony Sanfilippo, Filippo's Horrible Reviews, is, and you can catch all of Tony Sanfilippo's reviews of concerts, television shows, and movies at Filippo's Horrible Reviews. And how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good today, buddy. The Broncos actually won. Now, I can't believe that they won. We left, Jamie and I left to go eat lunch because it was 28-7, and I was like, I'm done watching you know what. And went and had lunch, and it's like, okay, well, they scored. Then they scored again, then they scored again, and as we were leaving Jersey Mike's, this guy's like, oh, my God, the Broncos won! And I was like, whoa. All right, huh? So much for the Caleb Williams draft. It's a winning streak now.
Oh, yeah, one. Woo, okay.
Woo, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Then we go to the Jets, who are actually playing quite well against the Chiefs tonight. And then we got the Chiefs twice in a 3-week span. So I don't think the winning culture is going to last too long, but it was nice to be on the winning end.
Is this going to be the start of the Taylor Swift curse on the Chiefs?
No, because they won last week.
Yes, but now is
the
the start
NFL
of the curse.
invited her to any game. They're like, you were invited to any game anywhere.
Well,
for
Well,
you
the
to-
last game saw the highest
Yeah,
numbers.
exactly. It was the highest
in the
number
young
rated
demos
game.
and-
Yep.
Yeah, well, she's dating that kid, that tight end, too.
Kelsey.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
My Jaguars
I was
won
gonna
in
say-
London, so I was happy
Did
about
you watch?
that.
Did you watch the real game, or did you
The
watch
Toy Story
game?
version was awesome.
Yeah, the Toy Story version.
It was
It was cool.
pretty fun.
I couldn't
It's on
believe
Disney
it.
Plus, yeah.
I was like, how is this? Like, I want to see the behind the scenes on how they created and did that because it was so amazing.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so they hooked up the players, and I don't know with what technology, but I know that they hooked them up with some sort of, like, like the game
LiDAR
technology.
or
Yeah,
something.
something like that. And then they animated them.
So it was all done in the style of Toy Story, like
Yeah.
Pixar, and
Yeah.
so you'd have like aliens flying around on UFOs around the field, and yeah, it was insane. You need to watch it.
Yeah.
What game was this?
That was this morning.
Yeah.
The London
It was
game.
the Jags, the
Yeah.
Jags,
Really?
and the Falcons.
Falcons.
It was on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. Yeah,
I
it
did
was
not
really
know
well
this.
done. Like Slinky Dog was their
Slinky Dog.
first and 10 marker.
Wow.
So he'd go up and down. There was no like voice acting to it, but it was
Sunday football.
it was pretty entertaining.
Oh, if they were all running
That's
like
what they
Woody
did.
from Toy Story, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
cars flailing.
well, that's like they had like a couple of your Jaguars would go running, and they'd have the streak, the little fire streaks coming out of their feet as they're running.
Yeah, or when they were
So-
passing, it would look like a cannon launch.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah, see, that's what they should do with like the cruddy games of the week, right? Like the Bears and Broncos. That should have been the Toy Story games. So you got to take the dump fire games and make those the entertaining ones. Because your Jags are no longer a dump fire, man. They're a good team.
Not really. They're up and down team. They won. They won this week, but then they got the Bills next week in London again. So they're just staying there. I guess they're the London Jaguars now. I don't know. So they're there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that Khan family, they have some type of deal with that, man. Hey, but on the plus note, they are undefeated in London. They have not lost a game since playing there.
Well, hopefully that streak stays alive next week when they face the Bills.
Yeah, I know. Next week's a tougher one. That is a tougher challenge next week.
Yeah, hopefully the
Falcons
Bills will have a little jet lag. I don't know. Anyway, so here on the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show for the movies, we utilize a carefully crafted and patented Pop Culture Kaboom movie rating system. If it seems worth watching in a theater at full price, it is a good, not a great. That is to be determined by you if you choose to see in a theater. If it is worth seeing in a theater as a matinee or in your town's cheap theater, it is a so-so. If it seems worth seeing on a streaming service or as a rental, or however you choose to watch the film while avoiding social interaction, it is a blah. And if it is deemed so awful you should wait for it to be on public television, it is considered a touch brown because FCC regulations say we can't use profanity. So we got 5 movies for you this week, and I'm going to start by throwing the proverbial dart at the dartboard here, and let's start off with this one, Vindicta. And it's one sentence synopsis. A young paramedic tries to survive her first night on the job as a mass killer remains on the loose. That's literally the entire synopsis right there. So in this thriller with society on the verge of collapse, there is rioting, arson, vandalism, murder. Oh, wait, no, it's apparently just Chicago on any given weekend. The main protagonist has her first day on the job, but it's hard to believe she's a paramedic. The trailer gives the impression that her and her partner are arson investigators or more than paramedics, as she is stalked by the most vision-impaired mask I have ever seen on a movie villain. Seriously, how is this Michael Myers meets the Purge wannabe even supposed to see anything? I guess I know why he isn't even walking in the trailer and constantly turning his head at odd angles, and for making me wonder how anyone could function in that kind of a mask, I give it a touch brown. Tony, what say you?
Oh, looks like a young paramedic needs to survive a riot, and there's a psycho leading the mob wearing a Caesar's Palace statue mask, which is, I guess, a different type of mask. Can you see in this thing? I guess if you're going to go for killer, it looks like it's a little psychological thriller. or more in the vein of Scream. Like, it's not supernatural. It's just a girl who looks terrified and must survive and ends up being the Sidney Prescott in what they probably hope is a franchise. The movie actually doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like it'll be going to theaters. It looks like it's headed straight to streaming. I think I saw Paramount on it, so I'll assume it's Paramount Plus. But you know what? It didn't look half bad, and I do like Scream movies, and I do like those types of quote-unquote horror, even though it's really just a thriller. So I would give it a blah.
Okay. Rob, what say you?
Yes. Cupid from Valentine is back. Oh, wait, no.
That's a good one. That was good.
But no, it actually seems an interesting movie. It has a decent premise. I've actually seen a few of the past ones that Paramount put out kind of low key, and they were actually pretty good. They had a good suspense to them. So I'm hoping this one does too. It's kind of purgy, but not really. Like, it's weird. It has like a purge vibe, but not really too purgy. I love those movies too, so I don't know. Like, so for me, it's going to be a blah.
Okay. And Mark, what say you?
Well, thanks for stealing my thunder. So is this The Purge meets Halloween? And again, you covered that. However, they did bring out some star power in Jeremy Pivens and Sean Astin. But alas, I have no interest. Touch Brown.
Oh, okay.
Wow, short and sweet.
All right, Tony, what is next?
Oh, let's go down Desperation Road, shall we?
Okay.
It's in a small, Randy.
Okay, let's go
small
do it.
Mississippi town.
I'm getting into the characters for this thing.
Yeah. In a small Mississippi town, justice and the law are two very different things. Academy Award winner Mel Gibson, Garrett Hedlund, and Willa Fitzgerald star in a modern noir thriller based on the acclaimed novel by Michael Ferris Smith about two lost souls tortured by the mistakes of their past and bound by a secret that keeps them running. Spoiler alert. The secret is a gun. It's a gun.
Is it a spoiler?
Okay.
When it's that prominent?
Right.
It's in the trailer. We can't have that gun around
The whole
here.
trailer was about the gun.
Riggs is retired, and he was wishing that Murtaugh would be joining him because now they're both too old for this. You know what I can't say on the air. What happened to Mel Gibson? He used to be a big Hollywood box office guy. Oh, that's right. He was blacklisted. Now he's doing lower budget direct-to-streaming movies, but that's not always a bad thing. At least he's still working, and he's still rocking that beard for what seems like multiple movies that we've reviewed on this show. So in this trailer, the rundown is basic. His son screws up, he's on the road to redemption, and he meets a blonde girl and makes a really stupid decision, and instead of going to the authorities, she takes this gun, and it's linked to a murder. Then she gets involved with Mel Gibson's son, and now they're both on the run. Then they involve Mel Gibson. Now he has to lie to his cop buddy, and it just seems like bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. But you know what bad decision I'm not going to make? Watching this movie. So, Touch Brown for me.
Okay, Tony, got the OTB. All right, well, if the trailer doesn't sum up this movie for you, or actually if the synopsis doesn't sum up this movie for you, the trailer that pretty much tells you the entire movie from beginning to end does. I quite frankly have no desire to watch a group of people make one stupid mistake after another, but that's what it seems like this movie wants you to do. And on top of that, root for them, which I'm not about to do. Kind of like my thoughts on watching this movie, I'm not about to do that either. So I'm giving it a touch brown also. Mark, what say you?
Yeah, I'm not going to waste any time here. You guys have said pretty much everything I've thought, so touch brown.
Triple B!
Rob, what say you?
Yes. Have you ever wanted to hear Mel Gibson do a Southern accent? No, neither did I.
I was doing one? I didn't hear that.
Oh my God, it was terrible. So bad.
It was
So,
really
oh my
bad.
God. This was like the worst paced trailer I think I've ever seen. I was like almost put to sleep. Mm-hmm. I was like, this movie is so boring.
And they're making such stupidly bad decisions with their lives.
It was just boring. I was like, come on. Yeah, touch brown.
Okay. The first brown streak in a while. There we go. So up next is Monsters of California. Okay.
Monsters. Adventures.
After discovering research left behind by a missing government agent, Dallas Edwards and his misfit high school friends embark on a righteous and dangerous adventure. Righteous? To uncover a... See, this is what happens when you don't read the synopsis until you go on the air.
Jimmy.
I'm like, righteous? What the? Uncover
It's the most righteous adventure.
Uncover a paranormal conspiracy in Southern California that brings them face to face with some of the government's most guarded mysteries. Why did this movie feel like a Shaggy from Scooby-Doo origin story? Now that is in your head, try watching the trailer and not thinking that. Starts off about UFOs and talks about ghosts and back to UFOs, and I got ADHD just from the trailer. Though it does look interesting, it steers off course way too many times in just a 2 minutes and 21 second trailer to hold my interest for very long. I will, however, watch this because it has that weird Scooby-Doo Stranger Things vibe, but not anywhere near a theater, so I'm giving it a blah. Tony, what say you?
Yeah, what do you get when you take the main star of Starship Troopers, a side character on Spin City, and have it directed by one of the singers of Blink-182? Well, Monsters of California, bro. Totally righteous adventure. Surprise, it's about UFOs, which, if anyone knows, Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 is a serious fan of. In fact, I read that when he left the band, he co-founded an organization called To the Stars that in 2020 was instrumental in the release of government videos featuring footage of unidentified aerial phenomena. Or maybe that weird little alien from Mexico.
I thought you were going to say he was instrumental in forming the raid on Area 51.
Was it the thing from Mexico, like food or something?
Yeah. Anyways, he comes and directs this movie. I think the trailer looks enticing. I like that it takes a horror twist to the Blink-182 song Aliens Exist. It looks entertaining for sure. I actually didn't know about this movie until I watched the trailer, and you mentioned it last week. I don't know if it's coming to theaters, but if it is, I'd give it a so-so. It actually looks like a fun movie. I'd go see it. It looked good.
Okay. Rob, what say you?
Yes. It was, I don't know, I'm not a big, alien type person. But then they kind of threw in this weird paranormal, there's ghosts, so I was kind of a little confused on this if it was UFOs or ghosts.
Werewolves or something, too.
Or something. I wasn't quite sure. And then it was like a Bigfoot in one part. I wasn't quite sure.
I think that was supposed to be a werewolf.
But I think, but then I was like, oh, it's called Monsters of California, so maybe it's all these monsters, and then that's what the big conspiracy was, is that the UFOs, they're dropping out of Bigfoot or something. I wasn't quite sure where the movie was going, but it looks intriguing enough. It doesn't look too B horror movie-ish, especially coming from somebody from Blink-182. So I'm going to go with the blah.
Okay. And Rob's making UFOs. Sasquatch is Ubers. So what say you, Mark?
I got to ask this question because no one else said this, but who in their right mind is going to hide their secret government info in old porn mags?
Southern California righteous dudes.
I guess he expected his son to be gay. I don't know.
So aside from the good music in the trailer, it seems to, I feel like, give the entire plot and synopsis away. Do I need to spend the money to go see this? I think the trailer was good enough, so I'm giving it a touch brown.
Okay. Eric said he just, during this whole conversation, he just went to check out the trailer, and you're right, Jimmy. You do get the Scooby-Doo theme. You can get the Scooby-Doo theme out of my head.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. So what is next, Tony?
Let's do, I guess, I might butcher the name of it, but is it Aberrant?
Good enough for me.
I don't know. When city dwellers Kimi and Celine, I'm so sorry, the names are bad. I'm going to call them Irk and Celine. Yeah, I can't say it. So when Switty, it doesn't matter anyways. I don't think anyone's going to watch this thing.
Urkel and Celine.
Well, even better. When city dwellers Urkel and Celine arrive at an old cabin deep in the Mongolian wilds, a forbidding settles over the couple. Urkel seems desire, it's hard to do this straight face, desire to provide a safe and nurturing space for his artistic wife is at odds with the violent actions and mannerisms their quizzical neighbor observes. As this neighbor digs deeper for the reason behind the aberrant behavior, only more questions and trouble arise.
All right, before you get into it, Tony.
I'm so sorry. Oh,
that's all right.
Brutal.
Before you get into it, though, it is about time, close enough for us to be taking a hard break. So I didn't want you to get into your synopsis or your thoughts on it.
It's time to do the Urkel. I get it.
Do the Urkel. Do it.
Oh, that is just wrong.
Terrible.
Wow, my eyes. Mark was doing the dance in studio. And thanks for the reason for me to see my therapist. I did.
I'm blind.
Anyway, we'll get to Tony's thoughts on aberrance when we get back, so don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom radio show with Tony Sanfilippo's Filippo's Horrible Reviews as we go over this week's movie offerings. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And we are going over movies with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. And so far we have covered Vindicta, which Tony and Rob gave it a blah, and Mark and I gave it a touch brown. Desperation Road, which was just a big brown streak. Everybody gave it a touch brown. Monsters of California. And Tony gave it a so-so. Rob and I gave it a blah, and Mark gave it a touch brown. You're flatlining this week, Mark. So I'll touch brown so far. And Tony just got done reading us the synopsis for Appearance, which we couldn't really get through very well because, we had to change the names because they're unpronounceable. So let me give it a shot real quick with the new names, and we'll go from there. When city dwellers Urkel and Celine arrive at an old cabin deep in the Mongolian wilds, a foreboding settles over the couple. Urkel's seemingly keen desire to provide a safe and nurturing space for his artistic wife is at odds with the violent actions and mannerisms their quizzical neighbor observes. As the neighbor digs deeper for the reason behind the abhorrent, it's in the title, behavior, only more questions and trouble arise. And now we get to Tony's thoughts on this. Tony, you got to unmute your phone.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I unmuted it. I was like, okay. Well, you didn't hear me laugh during the Urkel time. Anyway, so the trailer started out a little different to pull you in. It had a little bit of that Soundgarden Black Hole Sun vibe with the red filter, but that's the only comparison I could give it to that because it was the same weird sound over and over and over. It sounded like spoons tapping on something. It just showed this girl standing in the woods, staring at a camera, freaking out. And then there's some jelly-looking blood that she slips on. And somebody's over a sinkhole. And then I'm like, is the cameraman, is he the antagonist here? Because every time that camera's looking at him, they run. The trailer ran way too long for me, and it lost my interest. So it just, I'm sure, like now matching with the Urkel synopsis, it definitely did not match what the trailer was. So I don't know what the heck's going on. Got to give this one a touch brown.
Okay. I just watched a music video with the worst music. No dialogue, no tangible plot line, just images thrown at you like a college film project that was brainstormed in less than 10 minutes and filmed in less than an hour with no script. Touch brown. Mark, what say you?
I'm so confused. Is this a comedy? People slipping in pools of blood? It was enjoyable. However, not a single line of dialogue. Just a couple of random screams. Touch brown.
Okay. Rob, what say you?
Yeah, this one that you made us watch.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
And yeah, no, touch brown.
Okay.
Yeah, no, huh?
All right, that's that one. All right, which brings us to the 400-pound gorilla in the room this week, which is the exorcist believer. Since the death of his pregnant wife in a Haitian earthquake 12 years ago, Victor Fielding has raised their daughter, Angela, on his own. But when Angela and her friend Catherine disappear in the woods only to return 3 days later with no memory of what happened to them, it unleashes a chain of events that will force Victor to confront the nadir of evil and in his, what does that word even mean? And in his terror and desperation, seek out the only person alive who has witnessed anything like it before. Chris McNeil. Okay. McNally. I don't know where I got McNally from. Suddenly they joined an Irish mafia. I don't know.
I think that was the Futurama.
Character.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it? Anyway, so let me just get this out of the way right off the bat. I am not a fan of supernatural horror. However, the sequel plays homage to the original Exorcist, even bringing back the mom from the original Exorcist with the go big or go home mentality. They have 2 girls possessed instead of 1. As they do the typical demonic digression, it is said that in order to help them, they would have to use exorcism rituals from all cultures. Okay. Suddenly I see in my mind the scene from On Airplane where everyone was in line to calm that one lady passenger down. I could just see this Congo line of like different religions going in there to do exorcism rituals. But anyway, I digress. I do think this will make a fine addition to the jump scare drinking game. And if you are into possession movies, this really does look like it might be worth your money in the theater. If you go and feel I'm wrong, you can always scare the person in the seat in front of you. That's always a fun thing to do. But I got to refer back to the beginning of this rant, and it's supernatural horror. But it does look good enough for me to give it a blah. So, Tony, what say you?
Well, the original Exorcist was creepy as heck when I was little. The trailer starts out like it's going to be a thriller when 2 kids go missing, but then they're found, and it turns out they're possessed by the devil, and they're both required to go through an exorcism. So now they go back with some original characters to try to provide an exorcism. I always love that Blumhouse is doing these kind of continuations of classic franchises. Really like that they do that. They do a really good job for the most part. This movie looks definitely creepy. It's coming out at the perfect time of the season. You normally don't get me to say too many good things about a horror movie because it's not always my favorite genre. But this is definitely a movie I know Jamie Anna will not go see, so I'm not going to be able to get her to go with me to it. But I expect a lot of jump scares aplenty. This one looks good to me, and I would go see it. So I'm going to give this one a good and make this a rare occurrence where I've given at least every movie this week a good, a so-so, a blah, and a touchdown. I think I hit all categories this week. That's right. A rarity. I don't usually do that.
No, you don't. So as you cover the spectrum, we go to Rob. And Rob, what do you say?
Yes, actually, this one looks amazing. I enjoy the Exorcist movies, even the 2 that they did at the same time that were competed against each other, called the same movie, Exorcist: The Beginning. They were edited slightly different, so they were 2 different movies. But I enjoy the Exorcist movies. These are ones that my wife actually will go see. So she doesn't really like horror movies. She doesn't like to be scared, but she likes the possession type movies. I like the premise of this. How I don't know if I can't remember if it was in this one or not, this trailer, because I've seen so many of the trailers. But that part of the premise is that you can only save one of the girls.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't in this video.
Yeah, so I'm like, ooh, okay, so you have to make a decision. One of the girls is going to die. Like, that's not good for movies to kill off a kid. Like,
no, it's not.
So I'm kind of intrigued to see how they're going to go about that. But for me, it's a good
coin toss.
Yeah, right. I actually already have my movie tickets. So
okay.
For me, it's a good.
Well, next week I expect a review.
Okay.
All right, Mark, what say you? Oh wait, what'd you give it? So you give it a good?
Yes,
then.
a good.
All right. So, Mark, what say you?
Clearly pulling on those nostalgia strings. However, if you haven't seen the original, this may not work. Great to see the fantastic Leslie Odom Jr. of Hamilton fame. But ultimately, am I going to keep the streak alive? I give it a blah.
Wow. Stepping up.
Ooh.
All right, so that finishes it off. So the Exorcist believer gets a good end from Tony and Rob, a blah from Mark and I as the 400-pound gorilla. La, la, la. So I picked right this week when I said that one was going to be the 400-pound Vindicta, which started us off. Tony and Rob gave it blahs. Mark and I gave it a touch brown. Desperation Road was a big brown streak. Monsters of California. Tony gave it a so-so. I and Rob gave it a blah, and Mark gave it a touch brown. Abhorrence was abhorrent, and all of us gave it a touch brown. And Exorcist Believer, I just said. So next week, we will be reviewing movies that will be coming out around my birthday, which is 15 Cameras, Dear David, Herd of Cows.
Okay.
Once Once Within a Time, and The Elderly. Those are the movies that are going to be competing with.
We already had old
Taylor
people.
Swift. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's really nothing next week. Is there?
yeah,
Well, yeah, because nobody. Well, look at Exorcist. Even moved their date to the 6th because of it.
which I would
Yeah,
rather go
no
see
one
The
wants to go up
Exorcist than
against
Taylor
50.
Swift, but that's me.
Yeah.
So, and why would you want to go watch a concert video in a movie theater? I mean, just go to the.
Because you can't afford to go see her live.
Good point. Good
And
point.
they're doing these things at the movie theaters where you can rent the entire auditorium for it. So you have all your friends. You kind of have your own private concert.
Except not.
You know,
Hey,
and do you know she takes over too? So she's all over tonight's Jets-Chiefs game. They don't even pan over. Literally right next to her is Deadpool and Wolverine. You got Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman just right next to her. They don't even mention that, that they're freaking there. You got Deadpool and Wolverine.
it's the
right
Taylor.
freaking there.
They call it the Taylor Swift effect. It whenever she has a concert, it brings a ridiculous amount of revenue to the cities. It's unreal.
I don't get it. I really don't.
It's Taylor Swift. I don't know.
All right. So we got a little bit of time, Tony. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with things or have you with anything that's been going on?
I've only watched one new episode of Ahsoka, so I'm still way behind.
Okay.
But I still know what's going on, so we could still discuss.
Okay.
It's totally fine.
Well, let me see. Thrawn has his Death Troopers, so that's going on. He's headed on his way back to the main galaxy. Ezra is doing Force Jackie Chan stuff because he doesn't have a lightsaber. And
He brought the Force kick to life.
Oh, you know what? Actually, what? If
Well, you can
go
remember
into-
the Force kick, right?
the Force kick? No.
From Return of the Jedi. When they're on the barge and Luke kicks the guy, but he has 8 feet of space between him and the guy.
Oh, because he used the Force.
Right.
Well,
But that was the joke, is that it was the Force kick, but Ezra actually does the Force kick.
Well, actually, what Ezra does is what's called Terakasa, which is the martial arts form for Jedi. So, and actually, if you played Star Wars Galaxies video game, you have to become a Terakasa before you become a Jedi. So, I thought that was really interesting that they went that far. I thought it was interesting how he blocked Sabine's lightsaber. Not Sabine, whatever that other character's name. That chick. When she went to take a swipe at him, and
Shin.
and he's got his hands out, and you see the
Force
energy
wave,
off
yeah.
the blade start going backwards. I thought that was really cool.
I like how she just ran. She's
Yeah, well, I would too.
No, but it was great because she had this look of all right, I'm gonna defeat. Bye.
Picked up her ball and went home.
Yeah, I don't want to play no more. So and then Ahsoka shows up, and of course, they have that stupid dog mount thing hiding. It's like, really. It's like the Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz.
Put him up.
Pretty much. Well, they put him in a pod and sealed it up with those little crab people they were traveling with. So the hermit crabs.
What are they called? The Nettie?
I don't know, but they remind me of those things from Fifth Element. Remember the little things that were walking like that in the beginning? And then they had the key. But anyway, I digress. So that's been interesting. They finally got the Swordman Village arc for Demon Slayer on Netflix, so I've been binging that since last night. So I'm a little tired. Staying up late trying to watch all 11 episodes of that. It gets to the point I'm like, okay, this is going to be the last episode, but they leave it on such a cliffhanger. It's like, okay, I got to see what's going to happen next. No, I got to be the last one. No,
What about Loki coming up this week?
Oh yeah, that comes out on the
Thursday.
5th.
Oh.
Thursday the 5th, and the last
Thanks
episode.
for that.
Last episode of Ahsoka is on Tuesday.
Aren't they doing last I heard, it's actually going to be released Tuesday. They're going to follow the same.
According to what I read this morning,
Yeah, it's Thursday, October 5th.
at
Okay.
9 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, because I had heard that they were actually going to do it exactly like Ahsoka and have it released on Tuesday. That was the article I read on Friday. So
I don't think
I
they want to.
wonder.
I think they want to let Ahsoka play out before they do it. I think
They
that's what
might have the first one on Thursday and then move it to Tuesday.
Yeah, after Ahsoka's over with. You want to see Rebels get together? They probably will. They're pushing all of this towards a Thrawn movie when he gets to the main galaxy and starts his onslaught or whatever. But Spoiler alert, if this does lead into the sequels, then obviously it fails because the New Republic is still around when... I don't
know if you remember, but Dave Filoni is directing a film, a feature film, and it's going to bring everything together, the Mando universe. And
it's tying everything in.
So you might see the rebels get together and all be on the Ghost during that battle. They also plan on using the Judd Law skeleton crew as part
Jude
of Jude whatever as part of that's what you get when you have a goofy name. It gets misspelled, kind of like Mandalorian when the way Eric spelled it here.
Dang.
Well, it's true. So that's interesting. What else is going on with things?
I don't know. I've been watching The Swarm.
The Swarm?
Yes, on the CW. It's about this virus that's in the ocean that's affecting everything globally, and it's causing like humpback whales to attack, like how the real life now we have the killer whales attacking the ships. Mm-hmm. These humpback whales are jumping out of the ocean and landing on the boats and crushing them, and they're going nuts, and people are dying from this like plague and. From it, wow, kind of interesting. It's one of those global movies, so it has those casts from all over the world. So part of it's in different languages and stuff, so it's kind of cool.
So I guess sushi has been banned in the series.
I don't know. What happened was in the first one, it all started with the lobster. The lobster like exploded on this guy, and he got sick, and then everybody who actually
exploded like a suicide bomber, or what?
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was basically it was. If when you watch it, it was like the lobster knew it was going to get cooked, and like went psh, and like shot this stuff out at the guy, and then later the guy got sick, and everybody who touched the lobster got sick, and then they found out that the chick put it in the disposal, and now it's in the water supply.
Yeah, that's
chemical warfare.
Now Eric can't make fun of me for how I pronounce con names, or actually, I just got him on the Mandalorian story. Yeah. All right, Tony. Well, hey, sir, always a pleasure to have you on.
Awesome. Yeah, I always love being on the show, guys. I look forward to next week. And
yes,
this is great. I didn't have to work tonight, so there's no me trying to tell somebody to finish up tonight. So this was good.
no weird radio messages.
No.
Yeah, there's one coming out. It's queer. Yeah, no.
So who does the Broncos have next week?
The Jets, Monday Night Football.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And the Jets are beating the Chiefs right now, huh?
Yeah, well, I think the last I looked, they were tied.
Let me check this. I got to check this out now. Did they pull a hat trick?
Oh, Chiefs are ahead 23-20 with 6 minutes left.
Ooh,
that's a close game.
Yeah. Well, now they're going to pull away.
I'll be happy if the Jets beat the Chiefs. That helps us in our division.
So will I.
But it also gives them confidence going into your game, though. So that doesn't really help.
Oh, this is true. Yeah. Well, it would make it the blow less hard if we lost to the Jets if the Chiefs also lost to them.
Yeah, that's
true. You lost to them too, so you're good.
All right, Tony, we got to call it quits here. It is the top of the hour.
All right.
And when we get back, it'll be our big interview with Dustin Ferguson. So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show coming up right after this.
Later.
Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. I can do a 3-hour show every week, and it would take me months to cover every aspect of the film career of our special guest, Mr. Director Dustin Ferguson. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic now that I'm here. How are you?
I'm great, and welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show.
Thank you.
Your 140th film, which has been covered by Dread Central, Bloody Disgusting, Movie Web, Horror Fuel, and Horror Cult Films in the UK, is set for release this Halloween at a special red carpet world premiere at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. And that is the film. And that film is the remake of the 1967 cult classic titled Spider Baby, or The Maddest Story Ever Told. And last time we talked to you, you were getting ready to go into production for it. So now the production end of it is done. Now it's just getting it all cleaned up and finished up. And you got a special Kickstarter kind of, is it? Nope, an Indiegogo going on for that, for people if they want to contribute to being part of the Spider Baby remake.
Yes, exactly. It's the Finishing Funds campaign because, like you said, we're showing it on Halloween night.
So not that too far off. But I was looking over some of the bundles and packages that you have going, the perks going into this, and some of them are really, really interesting, and they kind of dovetail into the VIP package. And the VIP package will include a limo ride to the premiere. The premiere includes a director introduction, cast and crew Q&A, and a merch table. So they get their own merch table? Or
oh no, like that's part of the whole show. Yeah, like we'll have a pop-up merch table at the end, like selling, my movies and stuff.
And a red carpet event with a professional photographer, and that red carpet world premiere, of course, is Halloween night at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California, and it starts at 6 p.m. So, but there's all kinds of different things that people can hop on here for. You can be an accredited associate producer, an accredited co-producer, and an accredited producer bundle as well. So, but that VIP package there is only one of. So if you want to grab that and have a special evening with Mr. Dustin Ferguson for the premiere of Spider Baby, but that, of course, is not the only film you've been working on. You have some other interesting stuff. Yes, of course not. Like I said, I could make a show of everything that you do. But the Spider Baby remake is kind of like one of the biggest ones to date. Oh, and by the way, if you go off of Dustin Ferguson's Facebook page, pretty much every day is a new little bit nugget of information. And so congratulations, you've got an 80% Rotten Tomatoes rating on your film.
Beyond the Gates of Hell, got 80%.
Mm-hmm. Which, when I mentioned that to Rob before we started the show, he looked it up. So I think he's going to go and check out your movie.
My movie got one.
So, interesting. We have a special guest and co-host in the studio today, Mark Helton from 97 to Now Productions. Say hi, Mark.
Hello.
Hello.
And so here's the interesting thing about Dustin Ferguson. He's about a little over 10 years that you've been doing movies?
15, exactly.
About 15 years. It's kind of the American dream story, because he went from basically owning a video store to now being, his movie career is a whole section in a video store.
It could be its own video store.
Yeah.
140 films. That's quite the anthology.
Yeah, so it's
his own video front.
Yeah, really, it's really cool, and it's been fascinating to watch his career, because I started talking to him and interviewing him when he was still back in his where he's from, Nebraska, and when he still owned the video store and he had just gotten started, and so that's how long I've known Mr. Dustin Ferguson, and to watch his career.
Dang, that's almost enough content to start your own streaming service.
I know, right?
Right?
He did.
I have he
does.
have like 2 different streaming services.
Oh, yeah. Well, heck, there we go.
And not only that, he has his own studio now in Los Angeles as well. I tried to talk him into building one here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Studio B.
Yeah, you have to have the Studio B up here. Actually, get with Jeremy Renner, because he's looking at trying to do that. He wants to bring a Hollywood studio up here to northern Nevada. So
there you go.
There you might have a partnership.
Yeah, he lives
there.
here, so you got like that connection.
Yeah. So and a place to stay too. So you got all of that going on, and of course you have going on also this month is the 3rd annual Cropsy's CreepyCon. Which is
3rd year.
And something that, given your stature and everything that you've done, this is still a free to the general public horror con, which is really cool.
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand with my films. I'm always involving lots of different people in my movies, kind of like a community affair, and it's the same thing. Like, it's just meant to be a fun event for everybody that's involved, so that they can all make a little bit of money, and we want to encourage people to come by making it free. There's no reason to charge for people just to have a fun time. It's only 3 hours, and so that's part of it too. It's like 3 to 6 p.m. on the 22nd of October at the Mayflower in North Hollywood. We have over 20 guests. We got like Fred Williamson and Sean Whalen, and Jim Wynorski will be there, and Kevin Tenney and Kelly Maroney, and a whole bunch of people.
And don't forget Deep Roy.
Yes, and of course Deep Roy. Yeah, he's our final announcement on there. Yeah,
yeah. And if you don't know, none of those names kind of ring a bell to you.
Fred Williamson's.
Yeah, Fred Williamson. He was in From Dusk to Dawn.
Yep.
So which was really cool. They're having a mini The People Under the Stairs cast reunion out of this, as well as a mini Chopping Mall cast reunion out of this. I actually had to show Mark the trailer for Chopping Mall because he had never heard of it.
Right.
So, but that tells you where shows you where I come from with all my movie background. I did like that movie. That was awesome. But anyway,
Farrah Fawcett's hair was big,
and in more ways than one. It was it. And it's this year it's being hosted by, I'm going to mispronounce her name,
Malvolia.
Okay, I got it right. Yay, me.
Yeah.
And she's actually got her own movie too that she's trying to get up and off the ground as well. So, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, she's been working on it for a while. I think it's called Body Count, and she's probably more famously known as hosting the 1031 films that have come out. There's 3 of them now. She hosts those.
Awesome. And has she been in any of your movies? Because I think.
Oh yeah, like she was in the first movie I made when I moved out here called The House of Pain, and she's been in over half of them since.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So all kinds of interesting stuff if you want to go and check out the 3rd annual Cropsies. I always want to say Corpsies.
Yeah, everyone call it Corpsy.
Cropsies Creepy Con, October 22nd, 3 to 6 p.m. at the Mayflower Club in North Hollywood, California. And again, it is free admission. Let's talk a little bit more about, because you have Spider Baby going on, and you also are in the middle of filming The Dark House of Mystery.
Yes, we actually just wrapped it 2 days ago, and I released the trailer yesterday.
And so I got a question for you about the trailer, because I did watch it.
Yeah.
What?
Thanks for letting me know.
Whoa. So I know I'm bad. Well, you know what? He releases a trailer literally almost every other day because he finishes a film like every other day. So
And it's not like you don't have Messenger.
I don't. No, I do. So is that film going to be in black and white?
Yeah. It was intended. It's a 1930s period piece. It's my homage to the Dark House movies of that era. You know, with the man in the ape suit and the no power and everything that was a trope in those movies. We had a lot of fun. It was very highly stylized.
Yes, it was. That's what I was going to comment on, because it's kind of the lost art of lighting. You seem to have rediscovered it and putting the film out in black and white, and the way you utilize lighting and the way they utilized lighting back in the day when they had black and white film. You've recreated that perfectly in modern times, which was very impressive.
Thank you.
So.
Well, I had a lot of help. I had a great crew. People like Eric Russo, who's been my DP for a long time, and Derek Hill doing my audio, and got a new friend that's been helping out too, Jarrell. So I've got some really good people, and we filmed at a mansion. It's La Roca Ranch. Jennifer Morati is the owner. We've actually filmed Spider Baby there and Beyond the Gates of Hell.
Wow. So that's whenever she sells that, there's going to be a good selling point. These movies were filmed here.
It really lended a lot to the film, obviously, because there's a lot of secret passageways and hidden doorways, and so I really wrote the film around her place, so it worked out perfect.
Wow! So those are real, actual little hidden passageways in the house.
Yeah, like what you see in the trailer with the people creeping, with the candles and stuff. That was an actual underground cave passageway underneath her pool. Whoa. So it was underground, and so she showed it to us. She's like, you might want to utilize this. And once I saw it, I was like, we're setting the whole movie in there.
Wow, that's really cool. I didn't even. And in California, that's kind of.
I know. It was seriously gold finding that place. It was perfect for the film.
Well, interesting. Makes me want to go and check out the Bowers Mansion now over in Washoe Valley. Mm-hmm. Go and check that out and see if there's anything like that over there. So
my aunt had a house like that.
Really?
Yes, on the water. They were like maids. They were basically maids, exits and entrances, so they wouldn't be seen doing all of their work. Well, so they connected from the 3rd floor to the basement to the pool house. Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Oh yeah, we played hide and seek. It was great.
That sounds like fun.
I would have played hide and seek in that.
What was the name of the movie again? The Dark Side of...
It is called The Dark House of Mystery.
The Dark House of Mystery.
Okay.
He's literally writing all these down.
No, I'm...
Well, I got to mention, too, so I don't forget, we got our Mega H screening also on the 13th at the Temecula Film Festival here in town.
Yeah,
so
I just haven't gotten to that part yet. I mean,
I know.
And and again, congratulations on also the deleted scenes and behind-the-scenes stuff that you did for, it was Chucky?
Yeah, I worked on parts 2, 3, and 4 Blu-ray releases. Well, and part 1, technically. I provided... I grew up recording everything on TV. I was a horror nerd, so I have lots of trailers and deleted things and work prints, and so I've been working a lot with Scream Factory for the last several years, helping with their special features when they need, like, rare deleted scenes and TV spots and stuff, or radio spots. I happen to have a lot of them, so I provided all those for the first 4 films.
And what was the other one? Oh, Creepshow. It was the other one.
Creepshow. Just worked on that one, yep.
So... And you've always been like keeping your, you like have what, like 7, 8 pots sticks in a pot at the time that you're constantly stirring stuff up. So
I was gonna say, do you ever go on vacation?
He doesn't. I've tried talking him into coming up here like so many times.
Love what you do. It doesn't feel like work. No, like seriously, because like I do take a day off a week or two where I will go to the beach or go hiking. And
good,
so
good.
I definitely get that in. But I'm a very energetic person, and I love doing this, and I feel like I can't get enough done, so it's just the way I see it.
I've referred to him as the Brindlefly of the movie industry. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Yeah, he doesn't sleep. I got like 2
minutes. Technically, I am slowing down. Everybody keeps asking, because
you're getting older, that's all.
He takes that line from Empire Records where he says, there's 23 usable hours of every day.
Seriously, that's his mantra. I'm not kidding you. So I looked up and I found an interesting quote from Spider Baby.
Oh,
so yeah, you want to hear it?
Yes, of course.
Actually, it was taken from the lyrics, which is really bizarre.
The lyrics okay.
For the opening theme. It's is it okay if I read it real quick? I'm not going to ruin anything. All right, I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to. I'm going to William Shatner poetry reading it.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Screams and moans and bats and bones, teenage monsters in haunted homes, the ghosts on the stairs, the vampires bite. Better beware. There's a full moon tonight. Cannibal spiders creep and crawl. Boys and ghouls having a ball. Frankenstein, Dracula, and even the mummy are sure to end up in somebody's tummy, which is kind of disgusting if you're going to eat the mummy because I think he's past his expiration date. Take a fresh rodent, some toadstools and weeds, and add an old owl and the young one she breeds. Mix in 7 legs from an 8-legged beast, and then you're all set for a cannibal feast. Sit round the fire with this cup of brew, a friend and a werewolf on each side of you. The cannibal orgy is strange to behold, and the maddest story ever told. And that is
and that was sang by Lon Chaney. Actually, in the original film, that's the theme song, and his grandson, Ron Chaney, is in our remake.
Nice.
So, a little paying homage to the original in a lot of ways.
Cool. That it was very important for us to do that.
So, and actually, another interesting fact is that you have Jack Hill.
He's the executive producer. And then we also got Beverly Washburn, who played Elizabeth in the original movie. She's a CPS worker in this film.
So you got the original director and writer of the film is executive producing it. So he's on board. So he's happy with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, he read our script, and I made the changes he wanted, and we made the movie he approved.
So nice, very exciting. And if you're interested, again, this is going to be open. There's general admission and open to the public. So you can go and check it out at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California at 6 p.m. That is the red carpet world premiere on Halloween night. So bring your autograph book, too, because you can get autographs from Mr. Dustin Ferguson. He'll be there. Or you can go to the Spider Baby Indiegogo and contribute to it. And if you go and contribute to it, like I said...
Please do. Give us all your money. We need it.
Not all your money. At least some of it.
Whatever you can afford.
And that VIP package is still available if you want to be a...
What's the price on that?
Better snatch it.
He can't say it out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I can't. The radio station won't let me say prices out loud, unfortunately.
Yes.
But you definitely want to go and check it out. It is at Indiegogo.com /projects/Spider Baby Remake. Or just go to Dustin Ferguson's Facebook page and you can find the links there. Sir, always an honor and a privilege to have you on the show. And you're such a busy guy.
Thank you.
Glad you were able to come and join us and tell us what you have been up to.
It's always a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
No problem. You have a good evening and a happy Halloween and good luck with all of your ventures. And we'll be talking to you very soon because you're getting really close to breaking that world record for the most movies
Just
by
a
a
few
single
movies
director.
away.
How many?
I think the record's like 153 or something. So, I mean, like 10.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, he's almost about the world
So, like,
record.
January?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean next year.
It'll be next year, just January.
Right.
All right, sir. Well, you have a good evening, and you take
Thank you.
care and be safe. For everybody else, we'll be right back with more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show right after this, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Indie game developer and publisher Dark Point Games has finally put a release date on Achilles Legends Untold. We now have confirmation that the game will be released on November 2nd, 2023, as it will be released on PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store, as well as PS5 and Xbox SX and S series. Keen-eyed archers are not stormtroopers from Star Wars. Okay. Their arrows mercilessly remind you to roll or cover yourself with a shield. Armored undead, though slow in movements, are clad in iron from top to bottom, leaving only their backs vulnerable. Wolves, on the other hand, attack in packs and do a hit-and-run tactic, inflicting bleeding statuses. The diversity of foes and combat styles encourages you to watch and learn to achieve victory, while regular enemies in large groups pose a challenge even to veteran ARPG players. Achilles Legends Untold introduces several bosses, powerful individual opponents with their own life bars and unique deadly combat patterns. With the release of the full game, you will be able to face one of the new bosses, the mythical Minotaur.
I've already faced him.
Huh?
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon Company apologized after an extraordinarily quick sellout of merchandise tied to a brand new collaboration with the Van Gogh Museum of Amsterdam. Announced earlier this week, the Van Gogh Museum line included plushies, figures, artwork, and card accessories featuring pieces of Pokemon art inspired by the works of Vincent van Gogh.
Is this real? Is this an Onion article?
No, it is not. This was real.
Seriously?
Seriously. They actually was that picture of that that self-portrait he did with the gray hat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the same kind of style as
With Squirtle on his head?
No, Pikachu wearing
Yeah.
that hat.
Yeah,
So-
and the background's the same. Yeah, I saw it this morning. I thought, in all honesty, I thought something went wrong with their production line, and that's why they were calling it that. But no.
What timeline am I in?
Yeah, it's
I
bad.
don't wanna know.
I don't like it. I like Van Gogh's art. I don't like this.
The
way I don't know. It's
Pokemon
weird.
tie-in. It is weird and it's goofy. But here's where it gets good. Big old. This is why they're apologizing. A massive crowd of scalpers descended on the museum when the exhibit formally opened on Thursday, and a similar scene unfolded today on the Pokemon Center online. The major issue with the quick sellout was the Pokemon Center briefly had live links for the various listings on Thursday, which provided resellers and those with access to bots to flag the pages and determine when the items actually went live.
So like nobody was able to get them?
Nobody who actually wanted to get them. It was
Right.
just a bunch of scalpers, and resellers just grabbing them. This was compounded when, instead of announcing that the sale was live on social media, the Pokemon Center chose to let the listings go live quietly, allowing those who used bots to get a valuable first pass at the merchandise before the common fan knew they were available. Unless you were part of a Pokemon merchandise Discord or Facebook page, or followed a social media account that used bots to alert followers of sales, you probably never had the chance to actually grab a piece of Van Gogh merchandise. While there's no indication that the Van Gogh Museum line will receive a restock, the Pokemon Company confirmed that they were looking into ways of getting more of the promotional Pikachu wearing a gray felt hat card out to Pokemon Center customers in the future. While Pokemon fans are understandably disappointed about the Van Gogh flub, TCG players still have plenty to look forward to. Recently released is the long-awaited Scarlet and Violet, a 151 set, which includes all 151 original Pokemon, including the first Kabadabra card in nearly 20 years. After that is the release of Paradox Rift, a new set that contains Pokemon with the ancient and future labels that will likely mark the beginning of a new trend of decks focused around both cards. The last labeled introduced battle styles are still the foundation of the most dominant deck in the meta right now. So players are expecting Paradox Rift to be the start of a major shakeup in the meta game.
Okay.
Right on.
Okay. Lost you guys there.
I'm just not a big Pokemon fan.
Me neither. Less than a day after the WGA and AMPTP announced a tentative agreement that could finally end the strike, and as the SAG-AFTRA strike continues on Stars has dropped the hammer on 4 series, with Blind Spotting, Run the World, and the Veneer of Samantha Bird on the list, confirmed by The Wrap. But it was the news that the Stephen Amell and Alexander Ludwig starring Heels was canceled after 2 seasons. Did you watch that?
Yep.
Yeah, great show.
Mm-hmm. I was sad when I heard that. I was like, wait, what?
I love wrestling, and so, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a good show.
And Stephen Amell is a huge, wrestling fan. He's been involved with WWE going back many years.
Yeah, and AEW.
Yeah.
So maybe now he'll actually have a wrestling career.
Well, no, he actually does wrestle with them.
He's had,
really?
he's had a number of matches. His first match was against Cody Rhodes in the WWE.
That's what led him to actually do this, because he wanted to kind of keep that whole aspect. So,
was that because of me? That whole thing was shaking. Oops. Okay.
Every week I don't say anything.
Oh, well, I just happened to look over and I'm like, why is that shaking? Are we having an earthquake? Reportedly, the 4 shows did not find a large enough audience for them to be picked up for new episodes. So, boo-hoo on you, stars. Hey, you ever watch Alice in Borderland?
Can't say that I have.
No, it's on my watch list. I just haven't gotten a chance. But I heard they just got a season 3.
Yes, they did. Alice in Borderland, the hit Japanese death game thriller series that's a precursor to South Korea's Squid Game, is returning for a 3rd season on Netflix, with Keto Kamazaki and Tao Tishuga reprising their roles as Arisu and Yusagi. In Season 3, fans... I know I'm massacring these names. Fans... It sounds like I'm having a stroke while I'm trying to read, actually. But fans could look forward to witnessing the evolution of their characters in the ever-dangerous landscape of Borderlands. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, because it actually was a really interesting series. Oh, yeah, I did. The first season was like, ooh, this is really cool. But there's no... so basically, they go through... it's all the cards. And they'll get a card when they do a game, and depending on the suit and the number dictates how hard it is, and the suit dictates what kind it is.
Okay.
So if you got like the 10 of Hearts game was something that was heart wrenching.
Okay.
So I think the first card that they got was like 8 when he was with all of his friends, and it was him and his 2 friends that were the only ones left, and his girl, and they had to go through the game, and it was called Wolf, and it was kind of like a tag game.
Okay.
But if you looked at the other person, they would become the wolf. And halfway through the game, they realized that you wanted to be the wolf because that was the only one who would be left alive. So the other 2 friends, they made him the wolf, and then they went and hid so he couldn't find him, so that he would live, and they sacrificed themselves for him. So that's why it was a Hearts game.
Okay.
Weird stuff. And then Season 2, it was the actual face cards, the king, the queen,
but it's
Jack.
not like it's not an actual game show.
No, it's not a game show. They're in just this weird alternate reality.
Okay.
Where, but there's a whole twist at the end. but I can't. I'm not going to reveal what the twist
Right,
is.
but it's
But
not
it's this
like
whole
a game show.
There's
kind of a game
games
show.
involved that you have to, but it's life and death.
Gotcha.
And the big twist at the end, but you can choose to be a resident there, so you'd be actually doing the games in the future. Like one was this rock band, and this guy for some reason walked around naked. It was really bizarre, but this rock band was actually doing part of they would put on this one game, and so it was like all of these weird game things. And so,
okay.
But anyway, so where was I? Reprising their roles in Season 3, fans can look forward to witnessing the evolution of their characters in the ever-dangerous landscape of Borderland. Shinsuke Sato's continued direction will also ensure that the series maintains its trademark intensity and cinematic excellence. Based on the manga series of the same name by Hiro Aso, Alice in Borderland follows the story of Arisu after he is transported to a parallel universe in which he has to play and win games to remain alive. The games are divided into 4 categories, represented by suits of a deck of playing cards. When Alice in Borderland begins, Arisu, living in the shadow of his high-achieving brothers, spends his gloomy days unable to find any meaning in life. When he goes out with his best friends Kaito and Kurubi, the only sparks in their dreary life in the city suddenly becomes devoid of people. While feeling some sense of unease, the 3 young men are elated at their newfound freedom. However, this is the Borderland, a place where the inhabitants must clear various games to survive. Arisu, who uses his observational and decision-making skills to clear the games, meets Asugi, a climber who has cleared games on her own without having any companions. Through this unbelievable life and death experience, they face head-on the question of what living means. The best-selling masterpiece of survival suspense was a hit even in its digital format. All 18 volumes of the original manga and both volumes of the new sequel, Alice in Borderland Retry, are currently in publication from Singawi's Shunen Sunday Comics. When Season 1 started streaming in December 2022, it rose to the top 10 in more than 70 countries, earning its place as a worldwide sensation. Critics and viewers alike were enthralled with the show, boasting an impressive audience score of 96% on review website Rotten Tomatoes. Following their successful debut, anticipation for the second installment ran high. When Season 2 debuted in December 2022, it shot up to the top 10 in over 90 countries, claiming the number 1 spot in 17 of them. In Japan, it held the top spot for 14 consecutive days. Even more remarkably, just 4 weeks after its release, Season 2 clocked 200 million viewing hours worldwide, the highest of any title from Japan. Now the Joker card has appeared, declaring the triumphant return of Alice in Borderland. Netflix will announce the premiere at a later date. So, but if you're into like the Survivor horror, if you liked Squid Games, you'll really like this one.
I love Squid Games, so
yeah,
I'm looking forward to Season 2.
You'll really like this one. Actually,
it kind of sounds similar to like I want to say, what was it, Resident Evil 3, where they were like had to go through all the scenarios. I can't remember which one it was, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. Like,
are you interesting? Ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Nickelodeon announced that SpongeBob SquarePants Network's #1 animated series has been renewed for Season 15. Yay!
It's only Season 15?
Yeah.
It seems like it's been on for so much longer than that.
Right? Yeah, no, exactly.
I know it took a break after the creator died. They had a little short time period in there where they didn't do anything. Created by Steven Hillenburg, the Nicktoon premiered in 1999 and has reigned as the most watched animated series for 21 consecutive years, soaking up more than 100 million total viewers every quarter. Ramsey Naoto, president of Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Animation, announced the 26th episode renewal with a new look at the undersea citizens of Bikini Bottom. Season 15 pickup marks 345 total episodes of the beloved Sea Sponge ahead of Season 14 and SpongeBob's milestone 25th anniversary in 2024. SpongeBob's ongoing 13th season premiered in October 2022. In Season 15, incurable optimist SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, and Squidward will uncover even bigger nautical adventures. All new SpongeBob episodes continue to debut on Nickelodeon and feature the characters embarking on a range of situations, including SpongeBob thinking he has developed an allergy to Krabby Patties, Plankton learning self-defense from Sandy, Mr. Krabs stepping into the gym, and more. Season 15 is the largest expansion of the SpongeBob SquarePants universe, including new episodes of renewed spin-off series Camp Coral, SpongeBob's Under Years, and the Patrick Star Show, and the fourth theatrical SpongeBob movie, the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants, which is coming out in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, who would have thunk? Not me. To say that Star Trek IV has had a rough road would be an understatement. The first two movies in the rebooted films did well at the box office, but the third, Star Trek Beyond, did not do as well. Not long before the premiere of Star Trek Beyond, Anton Kalchin was tragically killed in a freak accident. And you know what else? It's not only this franchise that affected. I was looking.
Thomas.
Yes, I was looking.
I know. I was so happy
Odd Thomas
because
movie.
that's my favorite
Me too.
storyline book from Dean Koontz, and they did very well with he embodied my vision of Odd Thomas.
Yeah,
and then it's so sad. He died such tragically too.
Yeah, the weirdest accident.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what? I was on some site, and they said, "What was the saddest scene of any movie that you've ever seen?" I went, "The end of Odd Thomas."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, didn't think about that." I'm like, "Well, that's your fault." I did, but anyway. So he was blah blah blah, and the rest of the cast crew were very shaken up by this and didn't seem keen to return to the deck of the Enterprise. Since then, the film has gone through multiple directors and scripts. It was on the schedule, and then it wasn't. And at one point, the film was announced with the main cast returning without actually locking down any of the main cast. All the hope might not be lost. Maybe it's still unclear. Writer and director Lindsay Anderson Beer was supposed to write the latest version of the Star Trek IV script with director Matt Shakeman. However, Shakeman stepped away when he was signed on to work on the new Fantastic Four, and Anderson Beer apparently stepped away to write and direct Pet Sematary Bloodlines. At least it sounds like she isn't on the project anymore, but she did explain to Collider that she thinks it will still happen. So it sounds like Star Trek IV continues to hang out in limbo, which is a shame for people who would want to see more of the cast and crew from the films. However, Trekkies are far from starving for content these days, as Paramount Plus keeps them well fed with plenty of shows. While that's not the same as a film, keeping up the hype on the television shows does show Paramount that there continues to be a demand for Star Trek. Maybe that will finally get them to put the pieces together for Star Trek IV. And on that note, it is time for a hard break. This is the last break of the show, so you've still got 20 minutes left. If you want to talk about anything discussed on the show so far, phone number to call 775-515-4141, and we'll be right back with our special in-studio guest, co-host Mark Helton.
Hello.
And goodbye. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom, a radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And tonight, after the show, is episode 6 of Murphy's Inc. Season 2, titled Order My Barbecue Wings.
That is right.
I'm sorry, it was called what now?
Order My Barbecue Wings.
It is actually order my B
BB.
period B period Q period wings. Order my barbecue wings.
No, I have a question. No, the way you said it, does that actually mean something other than barbecue?
Maybe.
This is the first time I've ever been asked directly if the title has any involvement with anything, and I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
It's possible. I would certainly hope anyone who very much enjoys the show would have already picked some stuff up on the way that we title the episodes, but you know.
You never know. But here's the synopsis for tonight's episode. In Baghdad, everyone seems to be making friends except for Daphne. The librarian gets to know Fayyad.
Fayyad, yeah.
Oh. While James, learn, or intern number 2.
Yeah, that's correct.
learns philosophy from Yushri.
Yushri, yep.
Close. Tomato.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So definitely want to check that out. It is episode 6. You can pick, actually, if you want to binge watch it or binge listen to it, episodes 1 through 5 are available at your favorite podcast platform.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just this morning listened to episode 7, so I'm excited. It's in a very good place. Episode 8 is coming along, so we're done recording. We're just at the place where now we're assembling the episodes and getting them queued up with all the effects and all that fun stuff. So it's nice to be at this point. The flip side of that, though, is we just literally Friday night had our first writers meeting for season 3.
Oh,
so we are starting that process. So season 3 is right now mapped out for 17 episodes. So it'll be a little bit bigger than season 2, and it's gonna be fun. I am, as the showrunner, I have fully mapped out this season. There will be 4 writers on the season, myself included, and we're gonna have some fun, I think.
And speaking of productions from 97 to now productions, how far are we off from the premiere of Oak Bridge?
So Oak Bridge is in writing right now. They had they actually submit their first round of rough drafts, all the writers, this week. So we're targeting recording this series by hopefully end of year, early 24. Our plan is for it to air no later than summer of next year. So we're hoping before then, but no matter what, it will be completely aired before KaboomCon. And my plan, and I can announce this here, the plan right now is for season 3 of Murphy's Inc. to have its world premiere of episode 1 at KaboomCon next year.
Nice. Yeah. And with Oak Bridge, has any casting been done yet for that?
No. I kind of wanted to wait until I had the rough drafts, to take a look at all of them, and then I can start mapping out, okay, what characters are there really? Because, when you start working on a production, you say, okay, here are the characters, here's what they need to look and feel like, but it's not until you actually get the scripts. And a lot of the times, writers sometimes like to just add new characters.
Or get rid of.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, let's see. So then you have to look through the continuity from episode to episode. Oak Bridge, luckily, it's only 10 episodes. So I'll be able to, in conjunction with the creator, Ashley Dean, we'll be able to read through those pretty quickly and see, okay, are these characters heading in the right direction? Are they where we want them to be? And then I can start looking at casting. So I'm hoping to have a casting call put together by the end of, hopefully this month, realistically. With all the scripts getting turned in this week, I'll get my first pass at them and start building that out.
Excellent. All right. Look, lots of good things on the horizon.
Absolutely.
And like I said, don't forget episode 6 of Murphy's Inc. Season 2 is on tonight, right after the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. So stick around here on KNVC 95.1 FM for that. Paramount Pictures acquires the label Republic Pictures, has gotten the North American rights to the action horror movie Azrael. The first film stars Samara Weaving from The Babysitter and comes courtesy of the C2 Motion Picture Group. Azrael takes place in a world where no one speaks, so hopefully the actors aren't paid by the word. And centers around a devout female-led community that hunts down a young woman. Hold on a second. All of a sudden I had a scratch in my throat. Female-led community that hunts down a young woman. They don't say why, though. After the self-titled character escapes her imprisonment. When she is recaptured by the ruthless leaders, she will be a sacrifice to pacify an evil, ancient evil that resides deep within the surrounding wilderness. But in true action horror fashion, she will stop at nothing to ensure her own freedom and survival. The creators describe Azrael as a relentless parable of sacrifice and salvation, and it unfolds in real time. While Weaving is no stranger to horror, that's not where Azrael's connections with the genre end. The feature is directed by E.L. Katz, and actually I know who E.L. Katz. I think she's been on the show before. Who also helmed episodes of Netflix's Haunting of Bly Manor and Sci-Fi's Channel Zero. The script is written by Simon Barrett, who also penned The Guest and Your Next, Jason Clout, who did Joker, and Catherine Kisa, who did November, will executive produce the upcoming film. While no distribution plan has been revealed just yet, they are hoping for a theatrical release. So does it sound like something you would watch?
Yeah, I like Samara Weaving, actually. She's pretty good, so...
I don't know. I never saw The Babysitter, so I have no idea.
That was on Netflix. But she was, I want to say, it's not Your Next. She was in it was most recently where she played the wife of this guy who his family owned they basically like the Monopoly Milton Bradley family. Mm-hmm. And they on the night of his wedding, they have to sacrifice his bride. So okay. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but that's why I was like, I hope that she gets to kick butt again. And that's pretty much what she does. You know, she kicks butt through she kills pretty much the whole family.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that one. Okay. So is Todd McFarlane's new Spawn reboot film ever getting made?
No.
Yes.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
Why
do you say yes?
I've heard some things.
Why do you say no?
Because I just hope, and I just have a feeling.
You hope it doesn't get remade?
No, I hope it does, but I just have a feeling that it's just always no, and they're just going to give up.
Yeah. It's a fair question to ask since the topic has been discussed for the last 26 years since the first Spawn movie, which came out in 1997. And producer Jason Blum is maintaining that he has a concrete answer to give. The new Spawn movie is coming out in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. 2025 is when Spawn is going to come out. Bloom revealed to comicbook.com during the press junket for The Exorcist Believer. Why was he? Okay, because that's a Blumhouse production, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Originally, this new Spawn movie was intended to be a much more low-budget horror-themed imagining of the character. By the mid-2010s, Spawn character and comic book creator Todd McFarlane was parading around a lengthy script for the film and making it known he intended to direct it as well. Blumhouse took him up on the offer in 2017, and Jamie Foxx was set to play Spawn. Mm-hmm. But then the reboot suffered several starts and stops as market factors changed things, namely DC's Joker going from a modest $500 to $70 million budget project to a $1 billion box office and Oscar win success story. However, 2023 brought even more challenges to the film's process. The writers and actors strike in Hollywood brought all film productions to an indefinite hold. Meanwhile, Jamie Foxx suffered a life-threatening health scare that left him hospitalized for weeks. In fact, the Oscar-winning Ray actor is just now starting to return to the public eye after an entire summer where it seemed like it. That's not fun.
Are you okay, or do we need to call somebody?
No, I just got all of a sudden like a dry spot in the back of my throat.
Okay.
Which makes it hard to talk. And I got to keep talking. And Ray actor is just now starting to return to the public eye after an entire summer where it seemed like his possible death was a trending topic. Now that that's over, things seem like they could proceed fast. Spawn has seen several writers coming in and to rework McFarlane's script, which he seems to have taken in stride. My original plan was gotten tripped up a bit. McFarlane told comicbook.com's Chris Killian, "You deal with a lot given Hollywood. None of that should be surprising, but you start bringing in A-list people, and you're bringing on A-list people. Not just one, but multiple A-list people, and it's going to continue to grow. What you're not going to want is to do a cheap, low-budget movie with all of these big-name people on it, and that's not why you're signing up. You're not looking for a big extravaganza, but they're also not looking for an $8 million horror budget movie either." As for tone, McFarlane's last update made it pretty clear that the current version of the Spawn reboot is going for, I think in between The Boys and a traditional horror movie. We've got a different group of people on board, and they might not be as darkly bent as I am. McFarlane told us back in July, "If you ask me, I'd make it ugly, dark, make children cry." What? That is dark. But the play we're trying for, and we'll see whether it works, and we'll know by the end of this year. We're taking a pretty big moonshot of what we think we can pull off in Hollywood, if we can pull it off, it will be a big deal financially. And once you get into these conversations, they're going to want to do it in a way that they can then get their money back.
Well, duh.
So you said yes. Does that kind of go along the lines of what you were saying?
Yeah. I can't reveal sources or anything, but yeah, I've heard that the script is almost, it's like past 90%. So
yeah, that's what he said. Like, right, well, it would have been done if the writer's strike didn't happen. Oh, okay, Todd.
it was pretty much done before then.
Yeah.
The polishing.
Yeah. So Hasbro is really stepping into the Transformers multiverse as they continue to expand their Transformers Legend United line. Another animated series is coming to life with Transformers Cyberverse, which debuted in 2018 and focused on adventures on the planet Cybertron. One of the Autobots from the series is flying on back to Hasbro as the jet fighter and swordwoman Windblade is back. There is more than meets the eye with the... Oh, of course there is, because that's our tagline. With this slick Autobot that will transform into her jet fighter mode in just 16 steps. She will also come with a Stormfall sword and fan blade accessory. Both can be equipped for either of her modes. It is nice to see shows like Transformers Cyberverse getting new figures in the Legacy United line.
I'd still like to see them do more with the automated Transformers ones.
Oh,
they have like that Autobot Prime that transforms by itself back and forth. You know, I'd like to see more of those coming out.
Push-ups.
Yeah.
Push-ups. Because that's what you buy a robot for, to watch them do push-ups.
Well, I just want my Transformer to transform by itself.
Yeah. The 16 steps nonsense. I remember when Transformers first came out, you literally had instructions like you're putting together IKEA furniture. You know, it's like step 1, step 2.
I hated them because I could always do it one way but couldn't get it to go back the other.
Right, yeah. And you were so worried they were going to break.
Well, thank you all for tuning in tonight, no matter where you're listening. We genuinely appreciate your being here. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. A big thank you to our guest co-host, co-owner of Dark Corner Haunted House. Well, actually, she wasn't. Holly Spahr. Dark Corner Haunted House is running every weekend until Halloween at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. Also, a big thank you to our special co-host, Mark Helton from 97 Now Productions. Yeah, I don't know why I messed that up. Tickets in front of the line VIP passes are available at the Dark Corner Haunted House website, darkcornerhaunt.com. Even bigger thank you to prolific horror director Dustin Ferguson for sharing with us the status of his latest film, Spider Baby, coming soon, as well as sharing all of the information about the 3rd annual Cropsies CreepyCon. It is free admission to the 3rd annual Cropsies CreepyCon, and you get to meet and greet so many talented people Sunday, October 22nd at the Mayfair Club in North Hollywood. With all the guests on the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show, Pop Culture Kaboom follows and or likes them on the Facebook, depending on what options are available. So as they post news, it is reposted to the Pop Culture Kaboom newsfeed. Next week, Sunday, October 8th, our special guest will be 6-time Bram Stoker award-winning author. Oh, there's a little registered trademark I forgot to throw on there. And Queen of All Things Halloween, Lisa Morton. We'll be talking with Lisa Morton about her latest book, The Art of the Zombie Movie. And of course, All Things Halloween. We'll be separating fact from myth with the world's leading expert on Halloween, and that is Miss Lisa Morton. Thank you all for your support, and please continue supporting the Pop Culture Kaboom by listening to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. And if you missed any part of the live show, the Pop Culture Kaboom podcast, produced by 97 Now Productions, and is now available. You can get this episode and previous episodes and some bonus material that'll be coming up as well. Subscribe to the Pop Culture Kaboom podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Also give a like and a follow to Pop Culture Kaboom on Facebook, and everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment daily. And subscribe to the Pop Culture Kaboom, a YouTube channel for video interviews from events we have and will be attending. On behalf of our special guests, the co-owner of Dark Corner Haunted House, Holly Spahr, film director Dustin Ferguson, Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Review, KNBC, our special guest host Mark Helton, Rob, and I. Thank you for your support. Have a great week, and we will talk with you again right here live next Sunday, 6 to 9 p.m., anytime during the week on Facebook and 24/7 via email. Until then, be safe, stay healthy, and peace out, Labbits.